This Hangout on Air is live. Hangout on Air is going away later this year for quick. Good grief! It's appearing now, so we're well behind. So hello and welcome to this marvelous. Some might say seminal. Some might say groundbreaking, Luke. I don't know. Would you say groundbreaking?
Well, I'm feeling a little heavy at the minute, so I suppose every now and then the ground does break a little bit under my feet. But I've got to get bikini body ready for summer.
Very good. A live hobby hangout. And basically, for anyone who hasn't seen this before, you really haven't missed much. All myself and Luke do is paint little plastic men in very bad
metal today.
Oh, you've got metal men. Nice. Mm. Basically in poor definition, so you can't really see what's going on, and we talk absolute rubbish at the same time. Sometimes with pauses because we can't do things like paint and talk at the same time. It's barely worth watching. Is basically what I'm saying. But there you go.
I'm really glad I put the effort in to do this.
Yeah. Well, I want to know why you got the tuxedo on to.
Well, I've only got the top half of it on now because I have to change my trousers. Well, actually, all right, I'm telling a lie there. I couldn't be bothered to change, so I'm just sitting in it. But I thought you can't see it, so it doesn't matter.
Now, we could do with someone saying whether they can hear us or not, because I'm assuming the fact that we can hear each other, people can hear us. Max Davies just commented on a post. Probably my.
Anyone hear us on the chat there, please?
Yeah, anyone hear us on the chat?
Thank you, Marcus. Save. Unfortunately, they can. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they can. So,
feel free to mute it, Jamie, because really,
don't talk to me about Jamie. I went to Jamie's house the other day to pick up Arcadia Quest.
That's where you got Arcadia Quest.
Yeah, from Jamie. So I picked it all up. And at least 95% of it was missing. So I drove.
Good choice, Dave. Good choice.
I drove a half an hour. Half an hour to get to his house. Half an hour to get back. How much did I pay for this large bundle of Arcadia Quest? I paid the asking price, Jamie, for a full bundle of Arcadia Quest. The asking price, which was £50, which was, I grant you, cheap. And Luke had said if I don't like it, he'll buy it off me for that.
Most of what you paid for it, yeah.
For most of what I paid for it. What do you mean?
Well, I changed my mind when you said you might paint it. I was like, well, hang on a minute, that does change.
It's going to be a while. Look at all this rubbish. I haven't even started. Look at all this. Boring policeman. That's what I'm painting today. I better get started, really. Right, I'm moving that away.
Oh, no. Dan.
What?
Look what Marcus has said. Don't do it, Marcus. You look like a right twat if you do.
You don't look like a twat. You look super cool. Super cool.
You look like a welder that had to use the lost PE kit.
A welder who looks super cool. That's what he looks like.
Where did you get that thing, Dan?
Where did you get that thing? Where did you get that thing? What if anyone wants to know what he's talking about? This look.
Oh God, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Marcus is talking about this nifty piece of headgear. I got it from Amazon, or it could have been eBay. It's called a magnifying helmet. It goes rather fetchingly with earphones as well, so that looks good. I can't paint without it, to be honest. In fact, I went to the. What?
Oh, you look like such a twat with that.
I look ace.
It's when you put it down and you look into the camera. That's when it's best.
like bubbles from from Trailer Park Boys. Oh, I love Trailer Park Boys. Amazing.
I couldn't get into it. I tried.
Well, you're wrong.
No, I know. I knew it was me that was missing something, not that it was a problem. My old housemate, massive fan of it. He went and saw the live show as well, which I think I think was fantastic.
I've not really fancied the live shows and stuff, and I think the more recent they've got, the worse they've got, the Trailer Park Boys. But
that's often the case anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really like Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, Bubbles.
Right, I want some people's opinions.
Right.
Right, I'm just gonna put these little fellers out. I would like everybody to tell me which one to paint because I can't make up my mind.
What colour Palace's belts? They're black, aren't they? I'm just going to paint all this guy. See, this is...
Could everyone advise me as to which one would be the one I should paint? Just so we have a couple of 3 stoats or weasels, a mouse nun, a kingfisher, a squirrel, and a sparrow.
I don't like the birds.
Anybody got the what?
I don't like the birds.
I you know what? I didn't like them much at first, but
now you've paid money for them, you really like them.
Well, maybe they. No, I did start to. A few of them grew on me the more I looked at them.
Right. I'd rather them be on little stands and be in the air. Do you know what I mean? I like the birds in
this one, Marcus.
What is it?
He reckons he wants me to paint the sparrow.
See, I want him to paint this. I want him to paint the squirrel.
Yeah, well, that, to be fair, was the one I was tempted to, but he's a really, really, really badass little mini, and I want to save him a little bit.
Yeah, so you can concentrate on him.
Oh, cool. No. I'm happy to paint him live, but he's just so cool. I feel I'm sort of saving up for him.
Saving up my love for you. So, do you know what the big news
Don't
in my...
do that again.
What, sing?
To me,
I'm a wonderful singer.
I'm not.
Do you know what? Do you know what the big news in my house is? Is I have provisionally been diagnosed with Lyme's disease.
You are joking.
No,
not from your bloody tick.
Yeah, from the tick. Yeah, I'm on.
Is Lyme's disease curable?
Yes. It is right. It's a bacteria. It's a very unpleasant disease if you let it go. If you don't catch it in time. And also, while I've been kind of, the GP said, basically said you might have it, you might not. You could just have a virus, because I've been feeling fluey and crappy for a while, and also the area where it bit has been getting redder and looking infected, basically.
You're saying your breast has been engorged?
Well, I didn't want to put everyone off their supper.
I've had my dinner. I'm all right.
Yeah. So I went to the GPs because I've been keeping a very close eye out for it, Luke.
Well, I would understand why you would. I mean, yeah. I
don't want it, really.
Lyme's disease is, in all fairness, no joke.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's an incredibly debilitating chronic disease. But if you catch it in time and take the appropriate medication, then it's fine, apparently. So he said basically, you might have it. You might just have a bit of a virus, but there's absolutely no point taking any chances here. So I'm on a month's worth of antibiotics.
Well, that just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. So but because he said I might have it, I might not have it, I'm going around telling everyone I've got it. Because
you have got it, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You've been essentially diagnosed potentially with it.
Potentially with it.
Good enough.
Although I feel a lot better today than I have done over the last couple of days. So which could have something, to be fair, that could very easily have something to do with the fact I started some antibiotics.
I was going to say that's what medication does.
Yeah. So I can't really say, well, I can't have it because I feel better now. I've been taking the medication for it. That isn't a very logical way of doing. So yeah. So hopefully I'll be fine. Yeah. See, everyone was mocking me.
Oh, well, we're still going to mock you. We're just going to mock a guy with Lyme's disease now rather than a guy who got bit by a tick. Yeah.
But anyway, I went to Jamie Buckley's house to get this Arcadia quest, this reasonably priced Arcadia quest, which I still haven't played. Do you know why? Because 95% of it was missing from the box.
So 95% of it, that's quite a lot. I take it that's an exaggeration of some sort.
It might be a faint exaggeration. It might have been one deck of cards. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. But it was real playable without it. It was all the Monsters cards.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever played it, but
no, I haven't. No.
You need it. I played it once and thought it was all right, so I don't know quite why I bought it.
Well, you bought it more for Cora, didn't you say?
I did. Bought it so I can play with
Cora. For you and Cora.
Because she likes Batman, and The thing she likes about Batman is beating my guys up, and we haven't really got a kids dungeon crawler type thing. And Arcadia Quest, no, it's not a dungeon as such, but it's PvP and simple mechanics, and I think she'll like it.
Yeah.
Not keen on the art though.
Well, you don't like the whole chibi thing?
No, I'm not a massive fan.
I'm not a fan of it. I just don't. I don't have any. I kind of just don't have any opinion of it, sort of thing.
Yeah. You see what I'm doing now, Luke? I'm just painting this guy blue, which would, if I had a
blue contrast paint.
No, I don't. No, I can't be arsed with that. I suppose I could. I suppose this would be the ideal.
Yeah. Why would you want something that would save your time?
Well, it's not going to save me that much time. Is it going to save me one wash?
Oh, okay. Are you doing the wash thing? Are you
washing them?
Yeah.
I'm not washing them now. No.
You are just
putting a base coat on, and then I'll put a wash of a blue on afterwards. So
why don't you just try what I try? What I do?
Because if there wouldn't be a deep enough blue, I need it to be a dark blue.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
I need it to be dark blue, not a namby-pamby blue.
Like sort of like contrast blue kind of thing. Yeah.
Contrast blue, yeah.
Yeah.
But look, see this paint? I already bought it, and see that contrast paint?
You haven't got it.
And it's £6 a bottle.
Is it?
It's all right, isn't it? What is it then?
I thought it was like $4.49. It's like $4.99 on Games Workshop website. I think
$4.99. That's the same as £6, isn't it? Got a £1 parking to park in town.
Maths and mental health nursery isn't obviously a thing.
No, tell me about it. Well, it's roughly 6. If you do your maths wrong. So anyway, I went to Jamie Buckley's house.
Marcus is wishing you well, by the way.
Thank you, Marcus. That's very kind of you. I went to Jamie Buckley's house.
He just texted me though, saying, "Bloody hell, that's funny, isn't it?"
He would not do that to me, mate. Me and Marcus. Marcus is my soul brother.
Soul brother.
Hey, soul brother.
I just told you not to do that again.
Mister on the radio. That's what they do on Twitch, They can have music on in the background on Twitch. Maybe we should do that.
Are you allowed to just have music on, are you, on Twitch?
Well, people do. I don't know if you're allowed, but people definitely do.
Oh, well, yeah, but I suppose being on Twitch, you're not technically monetized, are you?
Well, you are. They're always getting bloody money.
No, they're getting money from people. That can't get taken away, can it?
I suppose. I don't know.
I suppose Twitch is technically live for the most part. It's not out there to necessarily be watched again, as it were.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's not like it can get taken down.
You can watch it again.
I know you can, but it's not the main sort of unique selling point of it.
£4 if you buy 5 at IQ Games, according to Jamie. Well, Jamie got more money than me if he thinks I'm buying 5 chuffing. That's 20 quid, that is. 20 bloody quid for 5 colours. I've got colours here and wash.
Yeah, your maths isn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah. And also, you're wrong about Twitch. You can't stream any music.
Yeah, I've just seen. Yeah.
So you were incorrect on that one, Luke.
Was I? Right, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've watched Twitch 3 times in my life. Okay.
I've been on Twitch.
Of course you have.
Yeah, I did this kind of stuff with Mr. Nick. What's his face? Murphy.
Riviera? Oh, no.
Nick Murphy, who's much better at this than you.
Who's Nick Riviera and why did I...
Dr. Nick Riviera from The Simpsons.
That's it. That's who it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not holding this sparrow in a way that anybody can see me doing anything with it. Marcus, have you continued doing any painting?
Yes. Are you doing any painting, Marcus?
Are you doing any now?
I'm desperately trying to get through Batman, basically.
Well, there's nothing like doing a painting project that's turned to desperation.
Yeah, well, these policemen are so dull.
I've been loads for a week.
I've been moaning on about it. Look at these SWAT guys. Can you see them? Yeah. They're boring, and there's thousands of them. There's 4 of them, and then there's 4 of these guys, and then there's 4 of these guys, and for some reason they're taking me absolutely ages to paint. But I've done all them now, so I'm now onto these guys, these uniformed guys. I've got loads of these bloody drones either as well. I don't like these drones. I don't know what I'm going to do with this stem. I think I'm going to paint it.
Yeah.
Paint it black.
I bet a lot of people have clipped them off and done something.
Yeah, I can't be asked for that.
No.
So yeah. So you're painting burrs and badgers.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Oh yeah, are they good?
Yeah, they're lovely minis. Yeah, just nice, just different. It's just nice to be painting something that isn't the general fantasy trope or sci-fi trope.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been enjoying about painting these Batman minis as well. It's not, the general trope. And the really good thing about the Batman minis, Luke, is they're only about.
Sorry for dropping an F-bomb there.
They're only 3 or 4 colours, Luke, so they paint really quickly.
It appears to be only one. Well, look at it.
Yeah, I'm reaching that stage of the painting project where you're like, right, these are all going the same colour. And very roughly so as well. But if I had an airbrush, which is what I was saying to you the other day, I'd have base coated all these in blue anyway, so I wouldn't have to be doing this bloody step. I want an airbrush really, but I can't afford
I do want one, yeah, but I can't really afford one, so I'm not getting one, as I said I might.
We're going to have to buy a new car, I think, which is going to...
Oh, which one?
Well, my car is just completely unreliable, and it now needs...
Did you take it up a big weird track in Scotland and fuck it?
I did take it. It was bollocks before I even took it up the big track in Scotland, right. To be fair, because we broke down on the way to Scotland.
Oh yeah,
in Carlisle, so we thought we might have to turn back and come back another day, which is a bit of a nightmare. But they managed to kind of cobble it together again. But it needs 600 quid's worth of repairs to it.
I'll take it.
Well, it's not that old. It had £1,000 to it last year. But when you just keep throwing money at this bloody car,
yeah,
and you just don't. It's not so much throwing money at it; it's we just don't trust it anymore. And so once you lost faith in it, it's like, right, you're off. But the problem with buying a new car is we're not going to get much for this in part exchange because it's got a dirty great big scratch up the side. So I'm going to move from a Renault Scenic to a Skoda Citigo or something like that.
Oh, like a little thing.
Which is a little thing. Because we reckon we don't actually need a big car very often. It's not often all 5 of us are in the car at the same time.
What does Kerry drive?
She's got Skoda Fabia.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is just about enough.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah,
it's be uncomfortable. I mean, it's like a Polo or a Golf. It's more like a Golf Polo.
It's somewhere in the middle of the two, isn't it? It's a little bit more. It's like a slightly overly practical Golf Polo.
Oh yeah, that's it. So it won't be wonderful to go on long journeys together, but it'll be doable. And we don't do it that often anyway. Once a year, it's not worth spending several £1,000s on a people carrier when you're only going to use it once a year. So
the trouble with me is I just don't like little cars anymore. I don't.
You're a snob.
Yeah, to be fair, pretty much.
I'm not a snob at all about cars. I spend most of my life in a car when I'm at work, but. I mean, the main thing about me is how comfortable it will be to drive. So if it's too small for me, because I'm not a small man. So as long as I can get in it, I once had a Mini and I couldn't fit in it.
Enough boot space for your ego as well.
There would never be enough boot space for my ego.
No, this is true. It's very true. Luke, can you tell us a bit about the game? Yes. So, Marcus, Burrows and Badgers is like a little skirmish type game. Have you heard of like Frostgrave or Warhammer's old Mordheim? Games Workshop's old Mordheim, or for in a sci-fi sense like Necromunda or something like that. So you've only got like a small amount of people.
I think maximum of 10, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is a maximum of 10. Yes, I think you're right.
And it's not people, actually, Luke. Small amount of anthropomorphic animals, I think you'll find.
Does that not make them people, though, if they're anthropomorphic?
Interesting. An interesting philosophical question.
Not really philosophical. I'm just trying not to be wrong.
Yeah. I've got a load of them here. Look, they're just not painted. So I've got...
Cool, that's a lot of shine.
Quite a lot of shiny... But these are from a slightly different manufacturer, but it's off the same game. That's a Stoty Weasley thing. I got a Wind in the Willows set, so look, I've got.
Where's the mole?
I'll find mole. Hang on.
Such a nice little. I think it's the nicest one out of all of that lot was the mole.
Yeah, the only issue is he's got catapult, and moles aren't exactly good at firing ranged weapons.
They're not.
Well,
yeah, that's it. You can turn because you can see his spectacles.
He looks like Penfolds, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. It does look like Penfold from Danger Mouse. Yeah.
I like the Toad. I like the Toad.
Yeah, Toad's nice as well. Yeah.
So
I just didn't think he was very Toad of Total Toad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. There was a lot of those miniatures I didn't like so much, but anyway, go carry on. We explain.
So very nice, very simple little game. It uses all of the polyhedral dice, so all of the D&D dice, as it were. I think not knowing too much about RPGs, but I think that's correct. And basically, everybody's stat is one of those dice. So the bigger and stronger or faster or whatever you are, the bigger dice you have. But so that can mean even like a little shrew, like dude, like him, my little shrew Zerker, who I absolutely love. Although he might not have a lot of weight behind his ferocious nature, if you roll a maximum on the dice of whatever you're rolling, you +7 to that roll. So even then, a little shrew might take out or at least hurt a badger or something like that.
He's got 1 in 4 chance of getting 11, hasn't he? So he's going to get 1, 2, 3, or 11.
To be fair, his chances of actually scoring high are actually pretty good. You know, I suppose statistically it probably all makes sense, but I'm no good at all that.
No. It seems like a really cool system.
Really nice.
There's all sorts of lore behind it, but it's quite loose lore, so you can.
Yeah, I wish there was a little more. To be fair.
I think there probably was. I listened to an interview with him, the guy who designed it,
Michael Lovejoy.
Yeah, in actual fact, I'm very tempted to ask him if he will come on the podcast because.
Oh, let me come on that one. Let me come back. I know I've been on twice, but come on.
No, too many people.
Oh, you twat.
Maybe
I met him at the expo. He's a lovely guy, and I presume it's his wife, Jo.
Yeah, Oathsworn Joe.
Oathsworn Joe. Yeah, I think they describe themselves as a husband and wife couple that design it. I'm sure. So,
well, she does terrain for it.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, yeah. She does she's doing the castle thing at the minute, isn't she?
Yeah. So yeah, no, because he's designed the game, but he also sculpts the minis, and we've not had a mini sculpture.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In fact, they're very rarely even named. Never mind about interviewed as sculptors of minis. So I thought it'd be interesting to have them on.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, you can maybe come on. We'll see.
Or just don't. Mike won't care about that one. Let him have the night off. my taking off Mike's position.
I want to paint my dudes and play it before I talk to them.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
The only thing I will criticise of Burrows and Badgers is not actually technically of the game system itself, but I'm a big fan of the company who is making their range of terrain, which is a company called Sarissa Precision. Really, really cool company that make lots of laser cut MDF terrain. I've got absolute buttload of it for the Wild West game I designed. Well, it's not, to be honest, designing miniatures games isn't that difficult.
No.
What was I saying? Yeah, they've done the range of terrain for Burrows and Badgers, and it's all very nice. It's all sort of very twee medieval / fantasy buildings and stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
You really like it, dear?
Well, I don't know about their stuff, but I like twee medieval. That's half the reason I wanted to get into this game, because I wanted the terrain.
But it's not called medieval twee medieval building and badgers. It's called burrows.
Why
are they all living in bloody houses?
Well, yeah, that's true.
My terrain that I'm going to make is going to look a bit more sort of Hobbiton kind of.
Have you seen the Hobbit hole from Games Workshop?
Yes, very nice piece. Very nice.
You should get that then.
No, I'll make it myself. It's not rocket science. It's a hill with a door in it.
Right. Okay. Well,
I shall show you eventually.
I bet it'll be shit.
Well, it might not be up to GW standard, but I bet it won't be shit.
No, I've got loads. I've got loads of terrain bits I've bought, and I've got some.
Yeah, you said you bought loads of terrain for this already, hadn't you?
Yeah, I haven't made it yet. I've just
to go with your Frostgrave stuff as well? Is this
Well, no,
some sense of multi-purpose?
sort of. Although my Frostgrave stuff's got snow on it, well, I don't want to put snow on this stuff. No, I bought some stuff to make trees with, which ended up costing me like 30 quid to make. I'm not convinced it's the right stuff either. As I say, I think it's would make too fragile trees. So I'm going to have to re-look at how
Make
to do
it
that.
yourself, Matthew Jude. Yes, correct. Make it yourself. That's exactly what I will do. Thank you. It sounds more like you're demanding I do it and telling me to do it rather than advising me to.
I don't know what he's talking about. The Hobbit
no, he's talking about you. I think you should buy another 3D printer. Yeah, we could hear you bitch and moan and complain about that again.
I'll show you my 3D printed trees. Hang on.
To be fair, Matthew, I really want to buy a 3D printer.
Oh, they're just not worth it, man. You're just better off just not having the headache of it and just buying stuff.
No, but I deal with stress and things a lot better than you do.
Maybe. Look, there's a 3D printed tree. That. Can you see that? Hello.
Yeah, it's nice colour.
Yeah, well, there's a bloody plastic, isn't it, you dickhead? There's another one.
See, that's cool.
Yeah. There you go. I've got loads of them. So I should really use those, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should. Yeah.
Well, I made those for Mythic Battles. But I never got around to doing it. What's Matthew Jude doing on here?
I know. I was a bit surprised to see Matthew. No, we're talking about.
Do you want to come on, Matthew?
Yeah, go on, Matthew. Come on, have a chat.
Although I'm meant to be podcasting.
You don't have to be painting anything.
No.
Are you podcasting with Matthew? Are you?
Yeah, not today, but another day.
What are you going on his new one?
No, I wouldn't be good enough to go on his new one.
Well, obviously, but you weren't good enough to be on the one he's on now. Still, the other one.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Matthew. That's the thing. Dan didn't do nearly enough board gaming stuff.
What are you talking about?
He said I'd like to print some inserts and whatnot.
Well, you say that, but they're not easy. And they take ages. I did. Right. I can't even see what he's saying now.
He's not saying anything. I'm laughing at the fact that you say that this thing that's become pretty accessible now, and as far as I can see, a lot of people it's really not that difficult, but it sounds like you made it a lot harder than it had to be.
Do you know, that is exactly what happened. I made it. I got in that state of mind where I felt I needed to improve on it. Basically, I was tinkering too much, and I kept changing one thing, and it made it worse. And then tried to fix that, and it made that another bit worse. And
DB Cooper's sunglasses. That's awesome.
Yeah. Come on, Matthew Jude. Come on, get your cameras.
Is he coming out?
I don't know. I got too busy arguing with you about you being a dickhead.
Yeah, Matthew, the new podcast is bloody brilliant.
The new podcast is
the first 2 episodes. It might all go to shit from episode 3 onwards. I don't know, but we'll see.
Matthew, if you're still there, I've sent you an invite through the Facebooks, so you should come on and talk to us. The new podcast is amazing, and with things like This Game Is Broken, when I left, I don't listen to it so much anymore because it kind of leaves me feeling a bit, not jealous because I don't want to be back on it, but there's a feeling I could do that still.
What are you talking about?
This Game Is Broken. Yeah.
The
podcast Matthew Jude does. I started.
Right. Yes. Sorry. Yes. I know that.
What?
You do podcasts. What are you talking about?
I do podcasts, but I could still do This Game Is Broken, and I feel I could. I could make a good job of it still. I feel that I would still. I'm not saying they don't make a good job of it now, but I feel I could contribute in an equal manner to the people who are currently doing it. Whereas Death by Monsters, I feel that if I was involved in that, I would make it worse. So I can't be envious of it, even though I'm shallow and narcissistic. Because it is such a good product, and the people on it are absolutely perfectly matched for that. I mean, even when you come down to just the different voices on it, you've got Matthew, who's an English chap. You've got Nick, who's American and male, and you've got Paula, who's American and female. So there's no issue.
Oh, there he is. He's here.
Oh, hello, Matthew Jude.
Hello. I've
Stevie,
got to work out where I'm listening to this already.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm listening to it twice. That was a weird thing going on there. Hello. Nice to see you guys.
Hello, sir.
I'm good. Sorry, that was very confusing for a hot second.
I was just praising your podcast, Matthew.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
Well, I have. And I was just saying how perfectly matched everyone is on it as well.
Yeah, I'm really happy about getting Paula on board. Because me and Nick recorded, we did like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And then we did one and we thought, yeah, that was okay. That was fine. And then we did, and then we thought, but it wasn't great. So we did another one.
Yeah.
And then we thought, yeah, that was okay. That was fine. And we both kind of said we could do with getting a third voice that's different.
Yeah.
And someone, and then Paula released her first Things Get Dicey video.
That's who she is.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you who she is because I sort of vaguely recognised her and I couldn't think why, but I wasn't sure if she was anything to do with board gaming.
Yeah, she released that first Things Get Dicey video, and I thought, she'd be really good at this. That would be good. And I had this whole plan, right? This whole like weird plan to try and not weird. That was not weird. I just
weird. Find out where she lives. Watch her while she sleeps.
I had this whole. Well, she streams on chat. I mean, it's on Twitch. I could probably work. I mean, I know she lives in LA. So no, this whole weird, this whole weird convoluted plan involving Christian. Take your chits too, because I know that he knew her and stuff. That's gonna mess. And then she just messaged me, and I was like, "Oh, that was easier. That wasn't."
That was meant to be.
Yeah, it worked out really well. That's fun.
It's a shame we're talking about this now because we're going to have you on the podcast later on.
Yeah, we won't even talk about it now. What I was going to say about your 3D printer is what you do is, Dan, where you went wrong, right? Yeah. What you do is you buy a cheap 3D printer.
I did buy a cheap 3D printer.
Yeah, but then you print yourself a better one.
We've already done this. We've already done this joke.
Damn it!
We did this joke with you.
Well, I thought it was good enough for a second.
It was as good then as it is now.
Everyone will have forgotten about it by now. That's fine.
I've only got a few jokes.
Yeah. So have I. I was telling.
As long as they're solid ones, it's fine.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm playing all the right keys, but not necessarily in the right order.
I used to have a joke in my other podcast with Lee. We were talking about what's the thing that you do that is the most bachelor still.
Most what?
The most bachelor. So the most single man, because he's a married man, but his wife's currently living in Tasmania because work reasons and things. So they are geographically separated, but not romantically separated. Well, he gets upset when she tells everybody that they're separated. He keeps saying no, geographically. And he said he at what point, how moldy is too moldy to cut a bit off the cheese, basically.
Well, cheese is fine.
Yeah. But what if it's grated? He said, what if there's mold on the top of the grated?
Yeah, that might be a bit much.
Yeah, that's where I drew the line as well. But you're saying a lot of men he was talking to, when asked what the most bachelor thing they still did was to have a pee in the sink. But they couldn't be bothered going upstairs, so the kitchen sink. So I used to have it in my Halls residence when I was at university. I used to have a sink in my bedroom, and then there was the toilet was a distance away. Now, not hundreds of meters away, but it involved me opening a door and walking down a corridor.
7 meters, basically.
7 meters, and especially if I was in bed, I'll just do my underpants.
Every man that was in those halls of residence, and some of the women were peeing in those sinks.
Peeing in those sinks, exactly. Yeah. Those sinks had a lot more pee in than toothpaste. Anyway,
my friend, he lived in this house. It was basically, it wasn't a. I mean, they were really run-down houses, right? And he found out that they had all this subsidence and stuff, and the houses needed knocking down. But they found out that everything that was running out the sink was just ending up in a big pool underneath the house. And he said that's when after about 1.5 years, he said that's when I stopped peeing in the sink.
That's it.
Just waiting to fall into a mass puddle of his own and his other housemates.
Exactly.
Oh, lovely.
I used to have this gag that I used all the time, and never got me any lady friends for some reason.
You're married. I'm single. I'm the
I
one
said
with
you used to. Well, you can try this one.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, don't try this one then, man.
Is it where you do your? Is it your elephant impression?
No, my white-eared elephant. No, no, it was.
Oh, that one might have broken me. Hang on. I might have to mute the mic.
No,
it's really good.
Yeah, that was
it's very trunk deficient though. No, I used to mention that. I used to say.
If only you were a lady, Luke. We could
Didn't we do that gag on This Game Is Broken at one point?
Yeah, we got a complaint.
yeah. Did we get a complaint? No, I thought we decided to cut it.
We may have. We may have. We may have cut that one.
We thought it was just too risky. Although it was a good one. No, I used to tell people I used to go to the toilet and the sink. I said, but sometimes it's a bit hard because you have to poke it down with the tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, that's not going to fly too much with the ladies. I can't.
Well, they were flies, but yeah. But one of those jokes that really amuses you, and you make it even though you know it's.
There are some jokes that I'm convinced are very funny, and I need to keep on trying until they land. That's exactly it.
Find the audience. That's it. That's all.
Phil Johnson says hello. Hello, Phil.
Oh, I've not been looking at the chat.
Look at the chat.
What's up, gents? Good to see Matthew around. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, hello. Nice to see you. I've just finished my own live stream, so I thought I'd
Have you just been on what the
This Game Is Broken?
Yeah.
This Game Is Broken. We just did our live stream. Our live commitment, but it's done now.
Sounds contractual.
I bet you didn't talk about white-eared elephants, did you?
No, there were some choice things, but yes, it's fine. We were trying to organise we had a meeting afterwards organising all our live show stuff. Do you know what? Because I'm doing this what's it called? Death by Monsters.
Oh, Death by Monsters.
I'm doing Death by Monsters, and we're doing it weekly to start off with.
Which is a big commitment, man.
Gosh, it's so much work. You hear
the work that goes into it, though, Matthew.
Yeah.
You can definitely hear the work that goes into it.
I'm at the tipping point, I think, where I've taken on too much stuff. So I need to really work out what I need to kind of work out what my priorities really are at the moment. So.
I don't think there'd be any harm in reducing Death by Monsters down to bi-weekly. I don't think there's any traction.
When you said weekly, I was a bit like, bloody hell, awesome, but Jesus. Come on.
Well, I certainly think you should prioritise that podcast, though. I'm not saying you shouldn't prioritise
Yes, no, I agree, especially because it's fledgling. So, what we're thinking about doing is we're doing this thing where people send in their home, like I've called them because there's like it's a very clever name. Let me explain it to you. So, there's like a kind of like a common saying in those kind of spheres, which is high strange. Like when things get really weird, people call it high strange, right?
I've heard of that.
So we're calling this. We're going to try and start something called Home Strange Stories, like Home Strange episodes.
Home of the Strange, that's what she's called.
Well, that's it. But Home Strange is what we're doing.
Don't dismiss me like that, Matthew.
And good idea. That's yeah. And
always that idea.
So we do these episodes, and what we see is people are going to write in, hopefully, and tell us their weird stories from the town they grew up in, or things that they've seen when they're on holiday, or weird things. The time they saw a ghost, the story their Uncle Bill told them after we'd had 6 pints, that kind of weird stuff. And we're going to try and do that at least once a month to take some of the pressure off at the time being.
Well, that's assuming people write in.
Well, that's exactly it. You've
got to build an audience a bit first.
That's exactly it. It's that we have to. That's why we're doing it weekly until we have an audience that could sustain doing something like that. So.
Yeah,
it's a nice idea.
It is.
Which could take it. I mean, that could take well over a year or something. It could take a very long time and stuff. So
Mirkwood Lodge. He says or she says that they've sent in a story to you about UFOs.
Excellent. I've either read it or put it in a folder. That's it.
No. They're saying their sister has a story.
Yeah,
they're going to send it in.
Send it in.
To send you. Yeah, send it.
Send it. Anything like that. Were you once covered in more bees than you were expecting? Send us. Tell us. I want to know.
Yeah, I have to think of some spurious stories.
Should I be wearing a cowboy hat for this?
If you wish to.
I think I will. Hold on.
I'm annoyed you're wearing that bloody cap again. He was wearing that cap all over the expo. I was like, that's not on brand, Matthew.
Maybe he's trying to appeal to even more.
He said he doesn't like being on brand, and that's why he's wearing that bloody cap. Oh, look at the state of that. Jesus.
That is
Is it Mardi Gras? What the hell?
So a loyal listener of the podcast sent me a very, very nice cowboy hat. But along with the cowboy hat that they sent me, I can't actually use headphones at the same time as this cowboy hat. I just realised, that's unfortunate. They sent me this hat, which is a Tennessee baseball cap, which I like a lot. I've been wearing. I've never would have bought a cap. It's not even black. But the package also came with this in, which is probably the best thing I own.
It's quite spectacular.
Yeah,
I think there's a grandeur to it that I appreciate.
In direct contrast to your own.
I think it makes up for a personality.
What did you say, Tom? Sorry?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Never trust a man with a colourful tie or novelty socks. That's
it. Novelty socks. I can't be getting on with that.
No.
All it means is your family don't love you.
I only wear black socks. Well, there you go. I never knew that was a thing.
Speaking of which, Mr.
Matthew,
Luke,
my name's Matthew.
Oh, I'm talking to Luke now.
No.
Oh, Christ.
As being one of the exclusive, very hard to get into members of the Fatherhood Club. Were you treated for Father's Day, or do you not generally do Father's Day?
No, Sarah worked till 3.
Oh.
So
I worked till 8.
Right, yeah. They gave us some presents,
and then you got home and went into your office to paint.
Said no one talk to me. I'm podcasting with my friends.
Yeah, we had dinner. They gave us some presents. And then we put the kids to bed. And Sarah went for a walk with a friend, and now I'm doing this. Yeah. So I had a cracking Father's Day. Real tight knit family day.
Well,
Sarah left the house, walked off into the darkness, crying. Don't know what I said.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's most evenings. I've given up trying to figure it out.
I'm going for a walk. I don't know when I'll be back.
if I'll be back.
There's an argument saying that Father's Day, it's like Mother's Day. Give the mother some space to spend some quality time on her own or whatever. Like that. That's a potential. We've got a good Father's Day tradition in that. Normally, when I'm not working, I forgot to take it off this year. We all go to a paint a pot place. You know these places where you paint pots. Hence the name.
I did that with an ex-girlfriend, and we broke up before I got to see how my pot turned out.
Oh, that's
no! It might go somewhere to why it broke up.
What did you paint?
A giant penis.
Nice.
No, it was. I did a cup. I did a mug, and I did it with so it was a lamp. I will say now, I'm not a great artist in that way. I mean,
in the paint a pot way.
And so I drew a mug and I did it with all like trees around it and made it look like a bit of a landscape around the whole tree. I made it woodsy.
Have you not got it anymore?
No, I never got to see it.
Oh, you never got to see it at all?
It takes a week for them to like kiln it, and then you go and pick them up afterwards.
Yeah,
nightmare.
Do you pay for it when you do it, or do you pay for it when you
bloody paying for it? Well, I did it. What a waste of time. Oh well. What are you painting, Dan?
I'm painting a drone.
What game is it for?
Batman.
Okay.
I'm painting all my Batman guys.
Haven't you heard Batman's a bad game?
I have heard. Shut up and sit down said.
I finally watched their thing now.
I think they've got good points. I'm not saying.
I was pretty valid, to be fair.
I'm not saying they're completely incorrect. I think they went in looking for a game that it wasn't.
Valid.
I'm annoyed with Shut Up and Sit Down at the moment because they've been slagging off Mr. Brady Sadler's game, Alter Quest, just because they've just decided that it's crap. Not crap. They've just decided that it's a nostalgia cash-in and nothing original to it and stuff like that, which is completely not the case. And just the amount of power that they have. I mean, their Batman video got 100k views.
Their root videos got 250,000 views.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Not that I've checked. Hey, I did a review. It got 2,000 views, mate. Deal with those numbers. If I release 10,000 videos in a year, I can make the numbers up that way.
but they have so much responsibility to be fair and balanced, I would argue, with those kind of. Now, I don't say they're not fair and balanced with their Batman review, but they just kind of found easy jokes to make with about Alter Quest and made them, as far as I can tell. And they're complaining about the cost of it. And it's $100, but that from people who try to argue that it was essential that every single board gamer bought that chuffing Murder in the Clock Tower or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. So
I've played it now, haven't you,
I've
Matthew?
played that.
Yeah.
And my thing is right. That I have never. That might have been the first real social deduction game that I've ever actually played. I've never played The Resistance. I've never played Werewolf. I've not played any of those games. Yeah, I just don't. I play Euros 2-player most of the time because that's like my game group as far as normally. But I played Blood on the Clock Tower, and there was something. I mean, part of it was the fact that we had a great person doing the DM. The dungeon master thing. When I was playing,
and you had a very good group, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I had a really good group because I was playing with Ross and I was playing with Mark Cook and I was playing with Nobody Included and stuff. And we had but it was just well, you know, when you've got the power that I wield in the board game. I mean, I don't know who was it that defeated the Titans. I'm one of them. Your words, Dan. I didn't want to say it. But I thought it was absolutely incredible. I had such a good time.
Well, does that maybe not make me think you maybe should have played some social deduction games then?
Well, exactly. No, well, the thing is with this game is right. Is that because I know that the thing that people say about Resistance, right, is that it just forces you to start pointing fingers at people for no reason. Yeah. But the cool thing about Blood on the Clock Tower is that, and I've not watched any reviews for anything like that. Ooh, it's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
But
you talk to me.
You're not beautiful.
Well, yes.
Mine certainly are beautiful. They're just base coated. Go on.
But I thought you were doing a bit hot and loose with them.
I'm just splashing paint on at the moment.
But I played. I can't remember what point I was making now. Oh yeah, so I've not watched any reviews or anything with it, but it gives at least two of the players will be given some information.
Yeah.
So it starts the conversation off and all this kind of stuff. So I had some information, and as long as people get to, I just had such a great time. Although me and Elaine realised we could have solved it before the first night because we had all the information, but it was just such a great. It was just I really really enjoyed it. But a lot of that was to do with the people I was playing with. I know.
Yeah, I think it probably sounds like it's group dependent to a certain extent. I mean,
it'd be great at Gearstones. It would be really great one night at Gearstones.
You should buy it then. $70. You could get that.
You will, yeah, maybe to play once. I normally would get Mr. Buckley to buy it, but he's selling everything now. Oh well.
Mr. Buckley was on the chat before, but I think he's disappeared.
He's missing a treat.
Arcadia Quest cards.
He needs to bloody cut his edge. I tell you that much. I nearly got.
Is that a euphemism?
No, that's what I was complaining about when I went to buy his Arcadia Quest off him. I couldn't hardly get to his front door because his edge was so.
Bloody hell! What a lovely visitor you must be.
His bush was so thick.
No, I'm not touching that one.
That's what I said.
Low hanging fruit.
I'm trying to think of any games I've played recently, but we don't really talk about games, do we?
No. This is just a fuck about.
I've played bugger all.
I should be editing an episode of This Game's Broken as we speak. So this is what I popped on here just to see what was going on, and I thought then you invite. I was like, well, I'll just do this.
There's not much going on. There's as I say, we don't guarantee any entertainment value. We're not really interested in audience. It's just a chance to catch up with each other and also paint and also at least get a little bit of narcissistic buzz that 9 people are watching us. So
Dan, do you play? You've got Mr. Cabbagehead's Garden, correct?
I do. I have that. Yes.
Do you have the deluxe edition?
Is that the one? I don't know. What does the deluxe edition do?
It's got lots of extra. I mean, there's loads of little expansion bits to it.
It does have a lot of little expansion bits to it. I've not played any of them yet.
I've got 2 extra little expansions, and I've got a player mat.
No, I haven't got a player mat. I thought that was pointless.
Actually, it's kind of useful. I've got 2 player mats though, so I might put on the side and you can have one.
Did you buy it?
I got sent it from Ludi Creations.
No, I'll have it if you don't want it. I'm seeing you on there. We're all me and Luke are both seeing you soon, aren't we?
Yeah. I was trying to work out when I could actually do that, but yeah, we've seen each other, aren't we, on the 24th?
Yeah, I'm trying to work out.
What are we actually doing?
Playing games.
Games at the dice.
I assumed we were dickheads. I assumed we were playing games, but I don't. Sean is doing all my organising for me, and he's just sending me.
He's going to pick you up.
He's picking me up.
Yeah.
Sean's going to pick you up, and you're going to come to the Dice Cup.
We are going to Nottingham then.
Yeah,
going to Nottingham, the Dice Cup in Nottingham, because it's kind of midway point between all three of us. And it's a nice little
hidey hole.
Yeah. And we're going to play some games. I don't know what games. We need to bring some games because the Dice Cup's library didn't seem that wonderful, did it?
That's all right. I'll bring some terrible game that I need to do a review for.
Yeah,
brilliant! Can't wait.
I should have Outer Rim, the new Star Wars game.
I'm a massive Star Wars fan, and I couldn't want to play that much less if I tried.
Really?
I'm not a Star Wars fan at all, so I'm desperately trying to find someone who's interested in it. So I can.
Good luck.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
It just sounds like Firefly, and it's a crap pick up and deliver game that takes 3.5 bloody hours.
That is what I've garnered from.
I love Firefly as in the show, but I bloody hate that game.
Oh, I like pick up and deliver games though.
I want to find a pick up and deliver game I like, but they all seem to take forever.
Well,
we'll take forever.
We'll play Rare Wars of the World when you
Yeah, well, that's actually one.
Oh yeah, we should play that because I get into it. I don't know if you saw. You probably. I'm sure you did.
I remember you talking about this on a podcast. Didn't you two get in a very heated game of it?
I did my top,
which you ignored everybody else.
This was on my top 50 games I did recently, right?
That must be.
And I'm not just saying this. When I play Railways of the World, I do kind of want to play it with Dan because it's just.
Did you say that on your 50 or did you say?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be named right?
No, of course I said I want to play it with Dan because we just have some really good games of it, and sometimes it's like I think we played a game of Keyflower that was the same once, maybe at Dice Tower Con, and it's like everyone else is not a contender because they're all learned. Although Mike Murphy actually did really well in that game, but then you got one person to beat, and you just start ignoring everyone else. But I tell you what I've been doing recently. I could save this for the podcast, but we can.
Well, we're going to have to repeat it basically.
In all fairness, nobody's going to hear it now.
True. So I think I'm completely obsessed with buying stuff with the Reiner Knizia games.
Yeah,
you really are obsessed at the minute, aren't you?
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm really getting into Reiner Knizia games now.
Yeah, he's getting a real resurgence, isn't he?
I've said it now out loud before. I think he's taken the #1 spot for my favorite designer.
Yeah.
Was it Feld before?
Yeah, I bought this. It's called Money.
All right.
So I could bring. I might bring that or something like that as well. We could play Modern Art, and I could try that again.
Oh, I'd really like to try Modern Art because I haven't.
You didn't like it, did you, Matthew?
I think maybe that I think one of the reasons was I think tiredness really played into me not knowing what auction we were doing at the right time. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring one that. That's fine. I'm driving as well. I was going to get the train, but I'm going to drive now. Hello, Chisel. So I'd like to say hello to Chisel.
Hello, Chisel.
Hey, Chisel.
And that's a good way of getting blood on the cocktail, getting somebody else to buy it. That's what I would advise.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what everyone's hoping will happen. So I'll bring money. I bought Taj Mahal as well recently for £10, which I was pretty happy with.
We could do a Reiner Fest.
Eric Summerer hates Taj Mahal, if I remember rightly. I don't know anything about it. I'm just sure that's the only thing I do know is that Eric Summerer hates
it. It's another auction game, isn't it?
It is. There's auctions part of it. It's a bit of a network building game as well. That's the thing. What you're saying about shove and sit down, right? Is that sometimes that's the only thing people know about a game. It's like what you just said. Eric Summer hates it. It's the only thing I know about the game. That's a lot of power to wield over
influence, a lot of power, isn't it? I'm not saying people shouldn't.
I wouldn't play it, but
I also am not saying that Shut Up and Sit Down shouldn't wield it because I actually think Shut Up and Sit Down have got quite a lot of integrity.
Oh, absolutely, I agree.
Same as Nopen included. I think out of everybody in board gaming, I would trust Nopen included to give their honest opinion more than most people.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I don't generally agree with what their opinion is, but I do trust them to give their honest opinion. I think Africa and Elaine have got an incredible amount of integrity, and
I agree.
And so shut up and sit down, to be fair to him. But I don't agree with 90% of what shut up and sit down say. So that's not much use to me.
The only bit of their Batman review I didn't like was the whole Conan bit. You know, the whole go and buy Conan. It's like, that's not an answer. That's not a solution to the problem. You know, as it were.
And go and buy the Batman miniatures game as well. It's like, it's a completely different game, which costs significantly more than this game.
It just wasn't a solution again.
And they've never played it, so that disappointed me really. But saying that, they can think what they think. It's just because you're right. They've just got so much power. I mean, people say Tom's got loads of power, but because they put out so few videos, the amount of power they wield is more than any other reviewer in the.
Yeah, big time. They could make or break a game.
Unless Tom put a game on his number one of all time type thing, then that would definitely.
I think actually now you just said that. I think the most influential board game media are Dice Tower top 10s.
Yeah,
I would agree.
That's how I got into board games. I literally remember painting the horse stairs and landing, not a euphemism, and I've just watched all their top 10s over about 2 days, and I made a list, went out and bought Cosmic Encounter, played it once for you, Dan. It was fine, and you know, and it's like I bought Cosmic Encounter. Wasn't the game for me, but I was like, well, if that's the number one, then that's got to be good, hasn't it? And it's just a lot. But now I know what I like and stuff. And I actually, the thing with Reiner Knizia games is that I really have enjoyed trawling through Board Game Geek through 56 pages of Reiner Knizia games, looking at all of them, seeing what's interesting. Like I find it's like you painting. It's like a secondary hobby, discovering Reiner Knizia games.
Have you played Genius?
When did you play? You post, Matthew, about like obscure Reiner Knizia games. You posted something about on Facebook or something like that.
Oh yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't think I know any obscure ones. I think I know pretty common ones. Then I went and looked at the list of them. I was like, bloody hell, I really don't know games, because that list just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
We did a round on this Game's Broken, didn't we? Knizia or knitting pattern.
Yeah, Knizia or knitting pattern. We still do that. We do. We've been doing. I did Knizia or Pro Wrestler.
Right.
And those kind of rounds.
Oh, I heard that one actually.
Yeah, those rounds. You can do that for quite a long time before you've run out of Knizia games. Yeah. And I'm doing a round in one of the most recent. The next episode of this is going to be it's Magic the Gathering card or Shakespearean insult.
Oh, nice,
genius!
It's really good.
Genius.
I've got the list in front of it. It's quite funny. So good. But you're right what you're saying about this game is broken. It's like I can see the point you were making before I came on this stream.
What was I saying?
Yeah, saying that you don't listen to it because we'd listen to something that you know that I could be on. Yeah, exactly. I totally get that.
It's certainly not that I wish anyone ill, and it's certainly not that I think the quality level is. It's just that it would be like not torturing myself because I don't regret my actions at all because it was right for me at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I do still download it to give you the numbers, though, Matthew.
That's all that matters. I honestly couldn't care less if anyone listens to it. Just download it.
That's it.
I was going to say
about all those bloody hours now.
I was going to say about Ingenious. I almost bought Ingenious before I got on my Knizia kick.
Yeah.
I'll bring Quo Vadis as well, which is a pretty obscure Knizia game. Before I got on that,
probably need to ask Sean what he wants to play as well.
He's not got a say in it,
right?
I'll speak on behalf of Sean. I'm sure he'll be happy to do whatever. He's fine. He'll be all right. That was the best advice. Some of the best advice Dan ever gave me. Actually, he was like, "You should play some games with Sean," and I didn't. And then you said it again, and then I think you messaged Sean to message me and say, "Hey, you should play some games." And I was like, "Oh, it's going to be such a faff." And then he lives literally 5 minutes away from my house.
He's a nice man, Sean.
He's great. I really enjoy.
His wife's very funny as well.
Yeah, she's really good, and it's. You know when you meet up with a group of people when you play. Well, you do know this because I've played games with both of you, and it's the table talk is at a level of just if anyone, you need to make sure that no one's going to be easily offended.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like when we were playing Tiny Towns at UK Games.
Exactly, it's exactly that. Exactly that. All right, I'm gonna head off. I need to do some work. I feel.
Fine. You need to do some editing, man.
I do. I need to do.
Lovely to speak to you.
Night, Marcus.
How's Marcus going?
Marcus is going to bed.
He's stealing my thunder there.
Yeah.
I was making my big exit. All right, I'm gonna hang up. Cheers, guys. It's been good to hang out. I'll see you both on the 24th.
Yes. I'll see you soon, Matthew.
Bye, everyone.
Repeat.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, that as well. Remind me about that.
I will.
Bye.
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 Go on, piss off. God, he's almost begging to be booted, isn't he?
Oh, we didn't get to talk to Marcus much. Oh.
No, it's because Matthew came and stole all the thunder.
Who is Chisel? Why do I not know Chisel? I don't recognise.
Chisel's a chap with a big beard. I know that much. He's on the Facebook group, but he's only relatively recently joined, so you might not know him from that.
Could anybody help me out? What colour eyes do sparrows or birds generally have?
Black.
Really? Solid black? Like a great white shark?
Yeah. I'm going to Google it.
Piss off.
Like you could Google yourself.
Well, actually, I couldn't because my keyboard's all tucked away.
Sparrow.
Somebody credible on the chat. Please help me out.
Well, that's not a sparrow's eye. That's bloody. Okay, so there's a very, very dark brown.
I kind of assumed they were going to be slightly yellowy.
No, that's like hawks, isn't it? It's a very dark.
Oh, right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think
very dark brown to well, some of them are light brown actually, but the sparrows have got dark brown eyes. There's no white to them, and then the black, a rather large black pupil or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's pupil, isn't it?
Yes, pupil.
Well, I'm just trying to work out which is the iris. I suppose the brown bit is the iris, but there's no white to the eye either. So.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Saki. Let's see. I'm just doing a quick roundup to see I'm not missing anything. Nope, not missing anything. Bit quiet on the group's long-term listener. Oh, thank you very much, Chisel. I don't know why.
Oh, that's why. Chisel. I didn't.
Oh, no, I've definitely seen him because he's got a distinctive name.
Well, that's kind of what I thought.
You don't meet many people called Wright, do you? That's a hilarious joke for you there. You can have that one for free. You can use that again if you want.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. Right. I'm into painting tiny details now, not just slapping paint all over the place. So I've started to concentrate. So you haven't been playing any games recently, Luke?
Nope. No, I played a UK Games Expo. I played a reasonable amount, but
Tiny Towns. What was Tiny Towns like?
You know what? That really surprised me. That game. I kind of just assumed it was going to be a cute little sort of family, let's build a town thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a real nice sort of little bit of weight to it. You know, it's a real nice thinky little game.
I don't know anything about it. I don't think.
Well, to be honest, I didn't really. Either.
I know a lot of people like it, so therefore I instantly don't like it because I'm annoying like that.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of getting like that. I don't know if that's because of you or
undue influence. All this hanging around Tom Vassell, all this optimism, and now you've met me, and 3 months later you're a cynical hater.
Cynical old butler.
Yeah, cynical old butler. Did you do any butling?
I did a lot of butling. Yeah, I mean, I think I figured out I drove in the days before by the time when we pulled up basically at the Hilton for the expo, I'd driven in 3 days 634 miles.
Wow. So if anyone doesn't know,
which Luke isn't a crazy amount, but you know, I've driven that much in probably less time than that, but
still a long way. So did you drive in Paris then?
No. I drove us to London, and then we caught the tube in from the edge of London.
Right.
Because the train, we couldn't get a train from Ely that got us there quite in time. So the easiest thing to do was to just drive in and tube it our way in.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, Luke is the Dice Towers butler. So whenever they come to the UK, Luke puts them up at his house, basically.
Yeah.
Don't put me up at his house, though, does he? No.
They have offered twice, I think.
Yeah, but I don't want to come. That's the issue.
And I knew it was when you couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to come and stay at my house?
I'm not an idiot.
That's it. I'm painting this belt grey, and I'm not sure. I've stopped painting things black now, or very rarely paint things black. And I paint it a dark grey and then stick some wash over it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Although I'm painting his truncheon black.
So just says something for my maturity levels. That
your name usually gets places before I do. It tends to stand out. Yes, it chisels out a mark for you.
Jesus Christ!
That was a sharp joke.
Yes, sharp. That's what it was.
Yeah, sharp.
Sharp.
Sharp like a chisel sharp. I really hammered that one out. Hammered it out like a chisel, you hammer.
You reached a bit with that one.
Reached like a chisel.
What have you been playing? I didn't really finish what I've been playing at Games Expo.
Yeah. You play Tiny Towns, which I'm
Tiny Towns Villages, which I really enjoyed.
That I don't like the size of that box.
Oh God alive!
What is Villages? I've seen a lot of people going on about that from the Origins.
Oh, has it got to Origins now as well? Is it?
So,
yeah, it's just a really nice little. I don't know if engine building's quite the right term.
Oh, I like an engine building game.
It's sort of somewhere between set collection and engine building. I
think.
That
sounds my alley.
I'll tell you what, I'll bring it on the 24th.
Excellent.
Because I did. It was one of the few sort of new things that I was getting. New things that I picked up that that I didn't go there intending to get if I saw it. Somebody on the chat, tell me, am I making? Does that vaguely make sense? Villages
drafting tableau building.
Right. Okay, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah.
So neither of the two words you described.
No, and I knew I wasn't right by saying that. That's why I was questioning it. Yeah. So you have cards out in front of you. So it's not drafting as in passing a hand around.
Yeah.
It's drafting as in from a a marketplace, as it were.
Gotcha.
And then building a tableau. But there is a little bit of engine going, as in, there's a lot of like combo building's probably a better way.
Yeah, it sounds nice though. I don't like the size of the box though. That seems an irritating size to.
It's really not. I mean, it's not.
Is it long and thin?
Well, yes, I suppose it is. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Do you not like the box for Onitama?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's like a smaller version of that, I suppose. Really.
Oh, it's smaller than that. I thought it was.
Oh yeah, it's not that big. Yeah.
That might not be that bad then.
So kind of the size. You remember like sort of deck boxes, or have you ever seen a Magic Fat Pack?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that, but not quite as tall as one of them.
Right. Okay. So I probably just got the wrong impression of it. So I apologise to the makers of Villages. I hope I haven't done your sales any significant harm.
I think I just heard them lock the doors up for the last.
Yeah.
Villages, Cryptid. Got to play Cryptid, which I loved, as I hoped I would. What else did I play? Didn't play that many games. Oh, I got to demo Fantasy Brawl.
All right. Super Fantasy Brawl. You've been talking about that. Is it...
so good.
Really?
I don't really think it's going to be. Well, I think actually, Dane, I think you're going to like it because the price point is quite ridiculous. Everything you're seeing that picture that you've generally seen, that's going to be the starter box, which is going to retail at 30 quid.
Oh, and is it going to retail then?
Yes, after Kickstarter, yeah.
And then you'll be able to buy expansions, no doubt.
But the good thing is, so you'll buy. They're going to do 2 different types. I think it was individual hero people, and then every now and then there'll be like a little themed set of 3.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, it's very plays very in the realm of Underworlds, Warhammer Underworlds, that kind of game.
Well, do you need both? Do you think?
No.
I'm not being. I wasn't being funny. I was just saying.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Does it play
very similar? Very similar.
Because I've quite heavily invested in, and I've just bought another Underworlds box recently. I think I mentioned it to you.
I was going to say, is that plus on the one that you mentioned?
No. I'm just. I bought the Toadstool ones.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me. Yeah, Monologue or whatever his name.
And mainly because my friend the problem is my friend who plays it has been buying loads of boxes, and he's going to have loads more cards than me, which is exactly what they want to happen. Obviously, I'm not a fool.
Well, that's one of the nice things about the Super Fancy Brawl is basically each person just has their deck, and you shuffle them together.
And what's the minis like? Is it
really nice, really nice. No, like cartoony. There's a not chibi, kind of a Overwatch sort of style.
I seriously would consider.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It does make sense. So anime, a little bit anime.
Yeah, in that
so kind of westernized anime.
Yes.
I have fallen out with Monolith now from going from somebody who said that they'd be happy to subscribe to a Monolith subscription type thing, where you pay. The poorness of the Batman rulebook combined with the lackluster effort on this Kickstarter has made me go, well, I will be exceptionally critical of anything they bring out in the future, including Mythic Battles 2, which is a shame, really, because I think a lot of people, they've lost a lot of people's enthusiasm that way, certainly from what I gather in various forums and stuff. I mean, I don't know what your perception of it is.
No, I'm with you. I kind of feel the same way, and I kind of already did. It's kind of why I didn't go on the Batman initially.
Yeah.
Because
what kind of made you feel that way initially then?
Well, I mean, the way the Conan was pretty much a shit show in delivering that, it just, I like the community around Monolith, great.
Yeah.
But this just seemed, don't know.
They seem like they're doing things half-assedly. They concentrating on the wrong things. They're spending the money on the wrong things. And
also it seemed funny that because I associate them obviously with Mythic, as in Mythic themes. And it seemed odd that I never knew anybody really who was part of Monolith. My lovely wife just brought me a coffee, isn't she?
Fantastic.
What was I saying? Yeah, I associate them obviously with Mythic because they obviously did have their working partnership. Mythic really
Leo is a very good publicist, though. I mean,
yeah, but that's the point. But then they only went and hired an even nicer publicist as well in Az. And also the other people who would regularly sort of pop up on tabletop. It wasn't always just Leo and Az. They were all really nice, but I have no idea of anybody that I'm aware of is a Monolith person.
I know
sort of speaks volumes to me a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think that just means that they're just not PR.
But then maybe I find it harder to engage with them as a company or start to endear to them.
I can see that. I don't trust too heavy PR, and Leo's used car salesman.
You reckon he's a car salesman?
Yeah, or a used car salesman rather. He just came across as being too PR to me, but I have an intense dislike of marketers anyway, which has got me in trouble recently.
Why?
Not just because I just don't find it a particularly.
I don't know what to get you in trouble.
I'm just on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, complaining
I see.
Complaining about marketers and things, and I don't see it as a noble profession, I'm afraid. And that comes from somebody who certainly kind of somewhat trained in it, and then decided that wasn't the kind of person I wanted to be. So I suppose there's a little bit of a.
Developed a distaste for it. Yeah.
Oh, I can't manage to shut the door then with my feet. It's pretty impressive. If you'd seen me crawling around on my floor.
We heard it. That was impressive.
Yeah. So yeah.
Like Cook when he's running off. He sounded like Mark Cook when he's running off and unexpectedly.
Unexpected Mark Cook. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like marketers, but he just comes across as touch insincere to me. But saying that, you're right.
Oh, I'm very surprised at that. I very much disagree with that. I think
Well, that's fine.
passionate about what he does. I think.
Yeah, possibly. All this "you in a good place" and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It just felt cultish when I was watching the Mythic Battles Kickstarter. But and I found myself swept along with it, and I didn't like it. I suppose that was the other thing. So I ended up dropping my pledge. But
also, the other thing was I had a little while ago decided I probably wasn't going to go on to for Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Not because really of anything because of Monolith or anything like that, just because the reason I went with Mythic Battles Pantheon is because I love the Greek myths.
Yeah.
That's the one, and then just lo and behold, they happened to make an awesome game, or not make a game because it was already out, but it had an amazing game with it. Yeah. I don't need there's elements of the Scandinavian mythology that I probably really love, and I probably really love it if I knew more about it. I keep meaning to read Neil Gaiman's.
Yeah. I listened to a bit of the radio.
So I probably really enjoy it because I do tend to like mythology. Same with the Egyptian one. I probably really like a lot of it, and I only know bits about it really that comes from movies and stuff like that. But I love the Greek myths, and I'm obviously the rest of my mythic stuff will turn up latter part of this month.
And, will it? Is that where it's delivered?
Yeah, it just arrived at the depots.
Oh right, okay. So there'll be
any time now.
There'll be a swamping of that on eBay and stuff. Then,
and that was going to be more than enough for me. I don't.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind some more Mythic Battles because I would like to be able to draft some more. That makes any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I was tempted to go in the base box, but I will see how much it is, see what my finances are like, and see how much I trust Monolith not to screw it up.
Are you talking about the Ragnarok one?
Yeah. I've got the base box for Mythic Battles. I mean,
yeah, you've got the base and Pandora, haven't you?
Yeah, which is really plenty, to be honest.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'm struggling to find the time to paint it. I'm very keen on finishing Batman at the moment, so I've got loads of painting projects like Brewers and Badgers, and also Arcadia Quest now, and Hellboy, and I want to paint Blackstone Fortress, but I'm a bit scared of that because they're so complex models because they're GW at their absolute finest type thing.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some amazing models there.
There is,
but they're so complex and so detailed that it's going to take me absolutely years to paint them. Because I don't think I've said it, but the best thing about the Batman models is there's only like 2 or 3 colors or 4 or 5 colors to paint on each one, so you get through them really quick.
What'd you say? Sorry. I stopped listening. I don't know what it was. There's something that every now and then just completely turns off. I don't know what it is.
You don't know?
No.
I'm really powering through the Batman stuff. I think I've done most of the heroes now.
That's your mistake.
What?
That's your mistake.
No, I think most of the heroes are a little bit dull to
Oh, really?
paint. But I've been doing them for well, that's why I'm trying to get through these policemen, because once these policemen are done, I've only got the Riddler's goons to do.
Oh, they're easy.
They're easy and actually look quite fun to do, I think.
Yes, they're actually quite nice little minis.
Yeah. And then it's all the villains and the heroes left. That's all I've got left after that. I've done all the other goons. Oh, and I've got the women bystanders to do as well.
Oh yeah.
But
you left the women till last, did you? Okay.
Well, that would tally with some people's opinion of me.
I just realised as I was saying it, I thought, oh no, he's had enough of that crap.
I have certainly had enough of that crap. But no, yeah. Well, I'm doing it scenario by scenario, basically, so they haven't come up yet. But
you were still doing it that way, yeah.
You can't play Commissioner Gordon or Renee what's her face or Bullock without having what? Renee Montoya, is it? I don't know.
Yes, Montoya, yeah.
Montoya. You can't play them without having policemen to use. So
of course,
paint all those up now. And plus, I'm quite keen to have a go on that versus mode. So
yeah, you know what? I think the versus mode is actually going to be how I'm going to like the game.
Yeah, well, I suspect that might be the case as well.
the scenarios I think are a little bit lackluster, and it really pisses me off the fact there's only one for each boss.
Yeah.
I've also decided I'm not buying any more of the Batman. I'm not going to bother because I think the verses will be fine for me, and I've got enough of it. That's fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that another map pack. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Because I think that would be good for the verses.
Yeah.
So if I was tempted to buy anything, it'd be that. But what I am wary of is how much they're going to charge for postage. Because you know that Overlord magazine that we got.
Yeah.
They charged a tenner.
I've got one of them. Is one of them mine?
Yeah, one's yours. I'll bring one down.
Yeah, I'll sort it out on the top.
Delivered.
Yeah.
I don't know if you paid for it, but I don't know.
No, I don't think I have. No.
I think it's only be like £3.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the magazine.
Who am I supposed to be paying, you or
Flavian.
Can I give the money to you to give to Flavian?
You can.
Yeah.
I'll have to work out how much it is. But basically, the magazines were £2 each, but the postage is a tenner. And it's just like, that's ridiculous.
That is
absolutely ridiculous. And it shows to their lack of interest in the customer experience that they haven't bothered to find a better way of posting.
Yeah.
And also you get some free promo cards in there. Well, one free promo card in the magazine, and they just put them in loosely, and they all got 3 of them got scrumpled up in the box.
That's twatish as well.
It is twatish. So I've emailed them, and they said they're going to send me some more, but it will be a long time because they're very busy. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, the promo card's not wonderful anyway. It's not like it's going to make much difference, but the magazine's all right. It's got like a scenario for claustrophobia. It's got a scenario for. So I think it's worth £2 definitely, and it's shiny and glossy, but it's just not worth the postage. So what I worry about is I bought that map pack, which is reasonably priced at £20 or whatever. How much postage are you going to charge me for that map pack?
Well, you've ordered that on the Batman Kickstarter, have you?
No, I haven't. No. But if I had done,
right.
That's what stopped me from ordering it, because I don't know how much postage they're going to. So I was waiting to see if any of my friends had.
When you go all in and you pay like £40 postage, you're like, well, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's all part of that.
Yeah, crap load of it. But when you buy just a couple of little bits, and you're like, hang on a minute,
exactly.
that's like a third of what I paid, or even not, or if not crazy amount, almost as much as, you know.
Yeah. So screw them. That's what I say.
But I can't wait for Reichbusters.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you watched? You will have watched
loads of videos on it. Yeah.
I don't understand why
I didn't go into it blind.
I don't understand why you're still rolling for noise after you've tripped all the alarms.
I can't. I haven't watched any for a while because you keep mentioning this, and so I need to go back and watch some again.
Because I think it would really wind me up. Because it could be just my perception of it. But I was watching the Beasts of War guys play it, and I could see. Well, my perception was they were getting more and more irritated with this. They kept forgetting this mechanic of rolling for noise.
Oh, really?
And they still
it didn't make sense
and over again. Yeah, because it didn't make sense. Because they triggered all the alarms. So why are we still rolling for noise type thing? Obviously, they didn't say that because I still want to know how Beasts of War get their money. But still, I'm very.
You actually asked me, did I ask?
Oh, I want to know.
Why on earth would I ask him that question?
I asked when I met Lloyd. I asked him how many people they employed. It was like 7.
Yeah, you didn't ask the question you really wanted to know.
Well, I didn't know. I wanted to know the question at that point.
I see.
I've emailed.
There's more than 7 of them now.
There will be, yeah.
Now there must be nearly 10 or 12, 20.
They can't possibly, from the backstages donations, be making enough to sustain that number of people. So they must. I don't know. I don't want to libel them.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, I mean, what's backstage, like £3.50 a month or whatever it is?
$3.75 or something.
$3.75 a month. So $3.75, and I reckon they've probably got 20,000 backstages.
Rubbish.
I reckon they probably have
20,000. They get rubbish.
I reckon they've probably got easily between 10 and 20,000. Easily.
You reckon?
Yeah.
They don't push the backstages much on the.
Because they don't need to. They've got 20,000.
Well, if they have, then yes, you're right. That would be enough. But I don't think they don't get 20,000 views on each video, though, Luke. They on the weekender they get 14,000 views. If you're a backstager, you would be watching those very religiously.
Okay, yeah, all right then. So say they said
10,000.
Right. Okay, yeah.
I believe is the height. You get they get
35 grand a month.
But I don't believe that's the case.
But even if there's 5 of them, even if there's 5,000, there must be at least 5,000 backstagers. Must be. That's still £15,000 a month.
Yeah, I take your point.
I mean, you know, their fee is so ridiculously nominal. I've never actually seen their fee on my bank statement. I have no idea what it looks like because I don't even notice it. It's that's ridiculously small. You know,
they don't get many people entering. They get about 100 to 150 people entering these competitions. They run.
I've finished Miss Barrow.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You have to speak.
Sorry, I'm going to wash his beak.
Oh, it's nice. You've done a good job there. Keep on talking because I can't see it.
Sorry, he's there. There. I've got to do a wash on his beak just to highlight.
I love the base as well.
Got some super glue. I tried to make it so it looked like he was coming into land.
Yeah, it's nice.
Did I get that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I really like that. You've done a cracking job there. So what are you doing? Are you painting? So you're just painting the very dark base and then highlighting up?
No, grey. This is what they're coming out as.
So it's grey, and then you just you put a base coat on, but you just don't go all the way to the edges.
Yeah. Yeah, just base coat everything, and I go to the edges. Yeah.
I can't quite understand that because
what this is what you were talking about, wasn't it? This
like on his fingers. There's a hang on a second.
Yeah.
Right, give me a second here. I'll see if I can.
You can only see me.
Yeah, I'll see if I can sort that out. I don't know quite how you do it.
Well, I clicked on you earlier because I was trying to look at what you do, and now I don't know how to make it switch back and forth.
Well, I need to do it for everybody. That's the thing. Right. Control room. Luke Pryor. No. I don't know. No.
I did realise. I've done it again.
What's that?
I finished doing the basing, but I haven't bloody varnished these two.
You could varnish on top, I think.
Well, onto static grass, won't it go a bit funny? I mean, I can vaguely miss the static grass. I just need to make sure they've got.
You could try it for a while. I don't know if that's showing for everybody, but anyway, I have only seen you. So pull it back a bit because it's out of focus. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So the bit you were talking about was this, wasn't it? It
was just an example, but the thing afterwards I thought I'd say was that around the fingers, it's all dark. There's like black lines around in the fingers.
Oh, I probably did do a null oil wash and then highlighted up from it.
Right. Okay.
There were probably a few bits, yes. Like I think I did around his face.
Yeah.
And his jaw.
I really like the effect because it's because I would normally wash in the color or brown at the most. Yeah. But it's almost cartoony, the little line.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I wanted. Yeah, I wanted a bit of a cartoony look about them. That's why I was sort of happy to go with a black wash.
Yeah,
black shading in that way.
But then
that also used to be my style of painting generally. Anyway, I always used to do from a black spray.
Right.
So I've always liked that sort of cell shaded kind of thing about it, that kind of cartoony-esque look.
Yeah, no, it looks really good, and it really suits those models.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed with the base as well. That's the kind of base I want. I want a really characterful base.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
I'm not convinced I'm going to do as good a job with mine as you have with yours.
How long has that taken me?
Not long. How long have we been going?
I told you I am a quick painter, aren't I?
Yeah, an hour and a half.
There you go.
It's not bad for a feature base model, is it? Really?
No.
I think you've done a cracking job with that.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that.
Chris is off. Oh, Chisel's off, sorry.
See you later, Chisel.
I don't know.
Speak more in the group.
Yep, I don't know how long he said he was going for because I got too interested in what you were doing. Yeah, no, I must admit, I am looking forward to doing the Boars and Badgers things, and even the Shadespire things, to really spend some time on a quality miniature, because these Batman miniatures are okay, but there's no point getting into all kind of. They're not good enough to get really into. Really,
they're not. No,
they're good enough to get to tabletop standard. That's about it, really.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying painting. It's really nice knowing that even more so than like Necromunda or Mordheim or Frostgrave or something, every single one of these minis has complete character all of its own.
Yeah,
there's barely any crossover. I mean, I could probably batch paint a bit of, like when I do the stoats. Even then, I'm gonna do them slightly different. They're not all gonna look like the same stoat.
It's interesting you're doing lots of stoats, because I was looking at the range and there aren't actually that many stoats there, are they?
I got them as a band of 3, and then there was one quite cool one that's pulling a wagon, but I wanted to get, but I didn't. I wanted to buy loads of them, but I kept myself somewhat restrained.
Yeah, well, you can always get them later anyway, can't you?
Well, that was my point, but then also I've got Mice and Mystic stuff. I've got a load of old Skaven.
Yeah, I was looking through the Mice and Mystic stuff. I think definitely the mice in the tail feathers are usable. The birds are too big.
Oh, I don't think the birds are too big, because they don't have the model for a massive raptor at the moment. So that's what I'm going to use one for.
Right, okay.
And that was one that actually I wrote a list. I wrote 2 lists. One that was an evil rat list, just rats, with one big brown rat. And then the other one was, just a list, mixed stuff. And the one I wanted initially a big owl. I thought that would be the cool to have a big badass owl. But they only had a sort of smaller one. I wanted a massive as their definition of sizes.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I bother with birds in mine. I don't like.
I think you got to have birds. You got to have.
No,
bloody hell did you buy tail feathers for?
For the mice and for the game. But I think the birds are too big.
No, I think it'll look cool.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
With only one. I only want one.
It's the way you envisage the game yourself, isn't it? That's the thing. I mean, I got a bit hung up about the size of my badges and everything, but then I realised that the mice are too big anyway, and the badges aren't the right size.
No, compared to
everything else. So as long as they're consistent within the game I'm playing, it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this little mouse nun. Where even is my badger? I don't even know where they are. Where have I put them?
The game looks a tiny bit fiddly to me.
What, to play? Yeah, I think it probably. Yeah, I think it is a bit fiddly. Yeah, I don't mind fiddly to the most part. Yeah, as long as it's fun, I don't mind. I can accept a bit of fiddle.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Fun and fiddle sometimes go well together.
Fun and fiddle do sometimes go well. I can't deny that. Trying to work out.
Right, which one am I going to start next? Which one am I going to do, Dan?
Well, the squirrel's the one I'm most interested in. Are you going to do a red squirrel or a grey squirrel?
Oh, red squirrel.
Yeah.
You know what? I hadn't even considered grey squirrel, but you've got a point.
Tufty club. That's what I say. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I don't know.
The weasel looks cool.
Which one? Which one?
That one. The one you just touched. The one that's doing a swinging his axe.
This one?
No.
Oh, the one at the back.
Yeah.
Swinging a hammer.
Swinging a hammer. Sorry.
But yeah, sorry.
You don't have to do it. You do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not your boss. I'm not boss of you.
I'm not asking you to be a boss. Just asking your opinion.
It's about time you should do. I tell you.
I mean, these 3 little minis are some of the most fun I've had painting miniatures for probably a good few years. I haven't felt remotely in those 3 that they were a chore.
That's good. I've lost mine. That's my ones I bought from Oathswan. Must be around somewhere.
Oh, you have actually got some proper Burrows and Badgers ones?
Yeah, I showed you. I've got the badger that you don't like.
Oh, yeah, of course you have. Yes, of course you have.
I've got a fox.
No, you haven't got the same one as me. You had a different one. Not the sort of assassin-y looking ranger fox.
No, I think it might be the one with the highwayman with a gun.
Yeah, that was
which I always don't want to do because I don't like. I didn't really see black powder in it, but it kind of does fit with the Wind in the Willowsy type theme that I wanted because there would have been black powder in Wind in the Willowsy type world, and a rabbit with a
I haven't got a rabbit yet, and I want a rabbit.
The rabbit is too big for everything else, in my view.
Well, technically, the hares, I think, aren't they?
No, it's a rabbit.
Oh, that one is a rabbit, is it?
Yeah, I suppose I could call it a hare, couldn't I? But
hares. Yeah, there's a hare knight.
Yeah, but I wanted to have a. I'm a bit concerned what I've done with them actually.
I can't go that far.
No, they're in a little white box. I wanted to have because friends and relations. I seem to remember that being a thing in Wind in the Willows. You know, rabbits, friends and relations. No, that was Winnie the Pooh, wasn't it? Rabbit had friends and relations.
What are we talking about now? I've lost what you're talking about.
Well, I want two sides that I have for. I want Toe-to-Toad Hole sides, and I want the Wild Wood side. So the foxes from the Wild Wood, and then I've got lots of weasels and stoats, but I don't want to just stay at that. So I'll probably get some. I'll probably use some rats as well.
Yeah.
And then for the goodies, as it were, I've got obviously Toad, Ratty. I've got Otter, but I'm not massively keen on the Otter, and he's not big enough, so I might buy another Otter.
Right.
And Badger. And then they had like mice and rabbits on their side as well when the stoats were trying to invade Toad Hole. So I wanted some of them. I can't look now anyway because I've got my earphones on.
Are you on the Burrows and Badgers group, Facebook group?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Did you see that person who bought a badger, the bear mini?
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
That looked brilliant.
If they
never said a word, I would never questioned that was a badger.
That is exactly the type of badger that I was hoping for.
Yeah,
I think that's a much better mini than the ones that are available through Oathsworn. That badger, in my view. Don't like the one you've got, and you don't like the one I've got.
No, I don't like that one, that pipe smoking thing. I don't get it. No,
I do. I like it. I like it more than yours. Yours is too vicious. Badgers should be wise.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with you on that sense. But even Badger was a young badger once, if you know what I mean.
That is true.
I'm sure he could kick ass and take names with the best of them.
Oh, he still can kick ass and take names.
That's true.
Don't you dare. But it's not exactly Wind in the Willows I'm doing. But
no, you're just using it as some inspiration.
As an inspiration.
As I've been describing the game, it's Wind in the Willows meets Fight Club.
Yes, exactly. But there was, yeah. But that fits with my terrain as well, because Wind in the Willows did have houses.
They lived in proper houses and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I had no issue with back then.
Yeah.
But now you do. In the title that references it.
Yes, okay, fair enough. I understand.
Around willow trees that had some wind blowing in them. That's fine.
I understand.
Not a problem.
I understand. Yeah.
Don't call it burrows and not make bloody burrows.
You can get a little burrow entrance.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. But
a
still,
little mailbox and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll just have more of them. I just want more I just want it more hills and woody and stuff like that. And then there'll be a few houses that are kind of Hobbit-esque.
I'll have to come down and play when you get it all set up.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking also tree stumps with a door on them, kind of
that'd be
great houses and stuff. That's the sort of thing I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know.
What are you going to use for your base? Have you got like a mat or something you use? Or...
Yeah. I picked one up at Expo. That was one of the main things. One of the things I was like, I'm definitely going away with one.
Oh, so you got actual mat, because you were saying you don't like mats.
No, I do.
All right, it must be someone else who was talking to who wanted to flock on their thing, which I think would look good, but you have to have it permanent then, don't you? Whereas a mat, you just roll up and take away.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a mouse mat stuff. I've got a lino one. You'll have a mouse mat.
That's right. Yeah, I've got a neoprene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one from P-Works, and it was the one I'd been looking for ages as to who to get one from. Deep Cut, P-Works, and various other ones. And I didn't buy it till the Sunday because I kept going back and forth to places looking at them.
They're expensive.
In fact, no, with mine was the 3. I got the 3x3 one for it.
Right.
No, I don't need anything bigger than that. It's fine. No. For this at least. It was 33 quid.
Yeah, it's still, well, that's expensive to me. I've never really felt. My mind was 30 quid as well, and it felt a bit unjustifiable. I don't know why. I just felt guilty about buying it. But the other side.
You make me laugh. You do.
Well, I don't like that. Whenever I spend money on just me and not the family or whatever, it always makes me feel a little bit guilty. I don't mind spending money on other people, but spending money on me just makes that little bit of guilt.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But I mean, that's because, and I also spend a lot more than all my family put together on me than they do on them. Like my wife, Kerry, sometimes says, "It's all right, don't worry about it. I get loads of wool." I'm thinking, yeah, but wool doesn't cost as much as a fucking board game. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, but if she gets as much joy out of a board game as
all the wool as I do out of
all the wool, yeah, then what does it matter?
It's pretty equivalent actually, because she's got tons and tons of balls of wool.
Yeah,
in a box never used, just like I used to have tons.
Oh, fantastic! So it doesn't matter. We talk about it being the bane of our hobby, not playing.
Oh no, God,
it's just a bloody hobby thing, isn't it?
It certainly is a hobby thing. Certainly, I think all knitters. Well, she's not a knitter; she's a crocheter.
What is the difference?
Crochet, you just use one hook. There's no.
Not the old click, 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 click.
No, you're making knots with both knitting and crocheting, but it's more obviously a knot with a crochet. So you just kind of using the hook to make a knot, and then you move on to the next knot, and then move on to the next knot. Whereas obviously knitting is basically making knots as well, but it just doesn't look quite as much like you're not in the actual process of it. I can crochet; it's quite pleasurable actually. But she's very good at it.
What sort of things does she make?
She tends to make blankets for people's babies. Is what she does. I'll show. I'll post some.
Does she pre-make them?
Hmm?
Does she pre-make them for babies, or does she get excited when somebody is having a baby so she can crochet something?
Well, I don't know. Excited. She's kind of does it for family members, and then my brothers and sisters are dropping babies like anything. So it's kind of you've done it for one, you have to do it for everybody type thing.
Yeah, you made the bed, yeah.
And but they're beautiful blankets. They're not just they're quite modern. I'll post some pictures in the Facebook group later because she's very talented, and they look lovely to these blankets. Not your kind of typical crochet. Well, it is your typical crochet, but it's not your grandma's crochet.
It's a cut above the average.
It's contemporary fabric art type stuff. It's not just folksy stuff. But yeah, she's good. She's good at it and brings a lot of pleasure. Although she's not been doing it recently because I think she got a bit fed up of it after doing one too many baby blankets. But as we all know, you go in fits and spurts of holidays. Holidays.
This is true.
Holidays on my mind because I'm not working for now for a week, so that's good. I've got to go to the hospital to get a blood test for Lyme disease tomorrow, which is annoying.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Sit and wait for that to bloody. I'm cracking on with these policemen. I reckon I'm going to get these. My aim is to get through as much of this box while I've got this week off. I haven't got any plans other than to do a bit of walking and crack on with this Batman box. I won't be surprised if I end up selling this, after a while.
You reckon? Well,
yeah.
Disdain for it.
Not getting disdain. I just don't know how many times I'm going to play it again. I think it's going to be quite hard to get to the table. I think I played it with everyone now who's curious about how it plays.
Right.
Everyone who would want to play it long term has already got a copy. But I don't think it will sell very well because.
Yeah, with a sort of bit of a bad buzz from it.
A bad buzz, I think the time to sell it was probably a month ago if you're going to sell it.
Yeah, absolutely.
because people who want it and now will have backed it on Kickstarter.
That's true. Yeah.
So there's probably not going to be enough. I wouldn't want to. I mean, I've enjoyed painting it.
I'd
So,
sit on it for a bit. I know you don't really like to do that, but
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to sit on it for a bit, basically. And Nevin likes it and stuff, so it's just getting.
That was one of the reasons I was going to say. And by the sounds of it, Cora has enjoyed it.
She has. I just think it's a bit too complex for her.
But she's what, 7? Isn't she 7 or 8?
Yeah, she'll get older.
So yeah, exactly. Her sort of she's just on the cusp, and then that just is going to leapfrog.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I've just seen that bit from when Elliot was at like 4, sort of 3.5, 4, and I was like, you're a clever little kid. Why aren't you getting this sort of thing? And then suddenly 5, just like boom, suddenly he just gets it all. I'm like, oh yes, kind of thing. And I imagine it's kind of much similar to the next stage.
Yeah, well, as I say, we've been playing. Oh, there's somebody talking to us. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Mark Tattersill. Line 2 said, got a new work palette since asked you about it. It really does make
me... Tattersill, are you a UK Games Expo volunteer?
I know
because that name rings a bell.
I don't think he's.
Sorry, yeah. Now I'm reading your thing. I've got used the wet palettes.
Yeah, they're much better. Contrast colours. I'm not going to bother. I know you've got some, Luke, haven't you? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some for fur because I hate fur. I know everyone says it's easy. I'm not very good at it.
I think I told you it was easy, and that was it.
Yeah.
Has anybody else told you that?
It's generally said to be easy, but I've never been very good at it, and I've never really been able to find the right colours to put with it.
Base coat and then wash it. I know. That's what I don't get. What you don't get about it. It's not.
Well, I do that, but it doesn't look good enough for me. I don't know. I just wonder if fur is the thing that I think I'm never satisfied with the brown I use when it's a brown one. I can never find a decent brown. All my browns are either too red or too light or too dark. I don't know. I've probably got more brown than any other paint, but I've never been satisfied with how I paint fur. So I'm hoping contrast colours will make that just like slap it on, and then that'll do.
I'm really intrigued as to whether Mark is the UK Games Expo volunteer. I think
no, he's not. Mark Tatzel is a chap from. Well, he might be a UK game, but he's a chap from my board game group, sort of. Although he doesn't come very often.
Does he wear glasses? Does he wear glasses?
No, grey hair. I'm going to double search for him.
Oh, maybe it's not him then. No.
Yeah, Mark.
What are you searching for him for?
So I can see a picture of him.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah, he lives in Halifax. And he's the chap I'm thinking of, yeah.
Playing Space Core, are you, Eric? I don't know really much about it. It's GMT game, though, isn't it? Other than that, I don't know. GMT games are one of those sort of games that I've really always wanted to get into, but I kind of don't dare.
Oh, it's all going on in the chat.
Yeah, it's probably because we've acknowledged their existence.
Yeah.
Samuel would. I have a few minutes to go. Going back quickly to Mark. Sorry, what Mark said. I used to use a wet palette, and they're great and they're very good. I just don't bother anymore.
I
can't be asked, but they're brilliant.
My painting.
I don't care about wasting a bit of paint. I just don't care anymore.
I think the reason my wet palette, the advantage is that A, it keeps your paint wet for longer, and B, it thins it down as well.
That's what I liked about it. It taught me exactly the consistency it should be.
Yeah. Which is thicker than most people suggest. I mean, people say it should be the same consistency as milk, and I've never felt.
Oh, no. Well,
I can't say that many layers.
I'd say it depends on the colour, and it also depends on the paint that you're using based on its amount of pigment in it. That's a very broad statement to make, to say it should always be milk.
True. And also, you use Vallejo, don't you, which is quite thin anyway, as opposed to.
No, I would say.
Well, I would. I certainly don't thin my paint down as much when it's a Vallejo paint as I do when it's Citadel.
Okay, you're wrong anyway, but it's fair.
So
sorry, right. Samuel Wood. I have a few miniature games that I would like to try paint. I did start one game. I presume we're talking board game miniatures games. But I only have cheap acrylic paints. Don't use cheap acrylic paints. Just don't use miniatures paints. They are a very different beast. to the sort of paint I presume you're talking about, like out of a tube, out of a plastic, bottle sort of thing, like art paint, as it were.
It's also
fine for terrain. Absolutely brilliant for terrain. It is not. It is not for miniatures painting. Do not use it.
We shouldn't say you should buy loads of them. You should just buy exactly the colours you need.
Yeah.
No.
Basically, what you should do is buy a rough range of the color palette. Basically tick most of the boxes, i.e., a blue, a green, a brown, blah 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 blah, and then understand color theory. Watch a few videos on color theory as to how you lighten a dark and paint and take it to a different place based on color theory. It's not rocket science. You don't need the entire range. You often, other than for ease of use and consistency, then it's nice to have a few extra shades and stuff. But I could get a long way with probably 10 paints.
Yeah. I still like having a range just so you don't have to mix anything, basically.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I do. But I know I could get by with 10 paints, and I could probably just do just fine, But then I'm pretty bloody awesome. So
pretty bloody awful. What colour I need? You could get a beginner's paint set. I personally would buy the colours you need, and then next time you paint something. Then get the next color you need and all that kind of stuff.
Best. Yeah, I would. Yeah, get the colors you need, and then maybe just a few others, just like two or three others that you think, oh yeah, I might use that or something like that. And basically look at a starter paint set, have a look at what's in that, and that's not too far wrong. Just generally, the starter paint sets come with some pretty distinctly average brushes, more than likely, and some bits you don't need. So just buy the individuals.
You don't need a super good brush, though. You need a brush that you can bring to a point. That's what.
Yeah. Buy a brush that you feel like you can see yourself being able to control it. That's it. Or two brushes of roughly the different.
Slightly different sizes, but even then, at the beginning, you don't need to worry about that too much. I don't think.
No, I wouldn't overthink that. Yeah.
Personally, I think the less you buy, the better at the beginning, because you don't know if you're going to enjoy it. So it's a shame to spend 40 quid on a beginner's set when you only use 4 paints out of it, and then don't like it. You'd be far better off just buying 4 paints.
Do you reckon is purple a bad choice for him? Do you reckon? I think purple would be a bit much. If I did his essentially most of this upper body cloaky sort of thing, if I did most of that purple, that'd be too much.
What kind of purple? I think this kind of
that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think about the same as that is, isn't it? Hang on.
That's a bit more bluey from what I can tell. But
yeah, well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because the lights aren't wonderful.
Yeah.
I think a darkish purple you get away with. I don't know.
Maybe that. Yeah, maybe a darkish purple.
I
know. I'm going to go with a bit more like a burgundy kind of.
Yeah, burgundy would be good.
That's a bit more. Purple wasn't an earthy color enough. That was my problem.
I'm going to try and avoid it.
I'll tell you what I really wanted to do. With my Shrew Zerka. His little trousers he's got. There's not much cloth on him, just this very small pair of trousers, which ended up in blue, just as a splash of colour on him. I was so tempted to try and do them tartan, and I was going to give him like some William Wallace like face paint. Like
that'd be awesome. You should have done that.
So I'm like, I was so tempted, but I was just like, that's a bit. No, I might buy him again because he's only like £3.50, so I might buy him again and have a go.
The magnifying goggles thing is a must buy, right? It depends. For me, yes, because I can't see properly without them. But if you've got reasonable eyesight, then no.
No, if you're a normal human being, Sam, you're just fine.
What do you mean normal human being? Don't be disableist.
Disableist. If that's your disability, then what on earth are the things the other?
Well, I'm a strong believer in people wearing glasses instead of contact lenses. Because it is a disability. Is poor eyesight, and anyway, whatever. I've got weird views on glasses and contact lenses.
On lots of things.
Yeah, well, not wrong with that, is it? What's wrong with that?
I suppose not.
What time is it? 10 to 11. Are you working tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow.
What days do you get off? Just whenever you want.
Yeah, it's up to me. Yeah, I had the weekend off, and I'm also off Monday and Tuesday. So
Very good. That'd be nice.
So Samuel, I'm presuming you're asking about the magnifying glass goggles things because you wear glasses. You might need glasses. Is that, I presume, what you're talking about?
I'm short-sighted and long-sighted. So I have recently been to the opticians, and they say I need to have varifocals. Apparently, when you are 43...
Hang on, what's the difference between varifocals and bifocals?
Bifocals is like a strong line down the middle. Yeah. Where
you look down and you look up and far, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas a varifocal is more expensive, which is probably why the opticians told me I need them. But
absolutely.
But they do make sense. Is the prescription changes gradually? So towards the top, it's the same, but
I see.
There's no hard line where it switches. So there's a graduation, and they said it can take up to a couple of weeks to get used to it because it's a bit weird. They said, but then you get used to it, and if you don't get used to it, they'll give you money back. So I'm gonna get some as soon as I've fixed.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, well, I think it.
Can you drive in varifocals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just, but it won't help for this because I look straight ahead when I'm mini painting. I'm like, you could see me now. I'm like,
yes, you wouldn't look down your nose. No,
you would look down my nose, but you would do for reading and things like that.
I suppose you do to a point, don't you? Yeah.
But they said, and they said this to my wife, because my wife's recently got some glasses, which she's had perfect eyesight before. When you nearly spot on 43, that's when your eyesight suddenly goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm the only one in my family that doesn't wear glasses.
You are?
Yeah, I'm deaf as a post, but I've got near 20/20 vision.
Yeah, I always I've always worn glasses, but I've always been short-sighted, and now suddenly to be both is really quite frustrating. I mean, they said I could have 2 pairs of glasses, but that's just going to get.
My brother has to wear glasses all the time. I think my mum and dad probably are supposed to wear glasses all the time, but generally only have them for reading, I think.
Yeah. I wear my glasses all the time. I never had to. I never was told I needed to. I just if I take them off, I lose them. So
yeah.
So
But yeah, I'm glad I haven't had.
Well, you will wait till you're 43, man.
Yeah, I've no doubt. Eventually, everybody's eyes go gradually, don't they? I mean, that's inevitable. It's.
I do meet a lot of people who's got macular degeneration and stuff, and basically can't see anything.
Yeah.
Of any use, and it's just I just keep thinking to myself, God, all my hobbies and all my interests revolve around me needing to see.
Well, yeah, I've been a smoker for a long time, so macular degeneration is probably on the cards for me.
All right. So it was
aware of.
Yeah.
Well, certainly everybody I know who's aged that had it diagnosed was a smoker. So I might be making the connection myself, but
I've not heard that, but I could be. I'm also not an expert in macular degeneration. So there you go.
So Sam, if your eyes isn't that great,
he's saying he was teething.
He was teething. Yeah. I would say you don't need it. Just buy a nice welding mask and you'll be fine.
But my painting. I made leaps forward on a number of things. Where the first leap forward was when I started using modern paint. So I used to paint when I was like 14 and 15 and stuff, but it was always dreadful. Even using acrylic kind of Citadel paint and stuff. But the modern paint these days is so much better than it was when we were 20 type, isn't it? It's just leaps ahead of
yellows work, reds work.
Yeah,
rather than where they used to be, where it was like,
and
they weren't even like inks; they just didn't work.
Yeah, and also the amazingness that is a wash. I mean, that
revolutionized it.
I don't know if they existed back then. They probably did. Some people,
they did. I can prove they did.
but they certainly weren't widespread like they are now.
Look.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I remember.
I had a red in the circle version before this.
I was going to say I remember different. That was a new style pop for me.
I had the original shape, and then that was the next one, and then they turned onto the screw top, awful bullet one.
Yeah.
The inks and washes have been around for a while. They've just got very much better.
Yes.
Although those ones in those little hex pots, they were great. I kept them because they're one of the few Games Workshop paints of mine that didn't dry out, and they're brilliant.
So washers were the discovery of washers were a massive leap forward. And they some people, Beasts of War, for example, they call them liquid talent, and they so are, especially when you compare them to the kind of things they used to be producing.
What do you think of that color, Dan?
I think that's perfect. Are you gonna highlight it up? Or
I'll highlight it up a bit, or I might actually wash it first and see.
Yeah, I'd wash it.
That brown wash and see where that takes it.
Yeah, and then brown wash and then highlight back over virtually all of it.
Over it. Yeah.
That's how I did this Stuffed Fables one, and they came out really clean. I really like that.
I'm glad I did that color because I'm glad I didn't do it purple now because purple would look friggin' awful.
I don't think it looked awful, but
it wouldn't have looked woody. You know?
Yeah.
I can imagine an anthropomorphic stoat that lives in the woods wearing that.
Still not sure my colour schemes.
Colour schemes for what?
For my dudes. I don't want them to all blend into green and brown though. I want them each one to stand out. That's
yeah.
But you've done a good job. You've done a good job with yours.
Each one needs to have something that look like just pops a little bit. Like the shield on my Sparrow, he's got a little blue shield. Just gives it a little pop. Obviously, his feet are a nice yellow kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, Matrew's got his blue trousers. The Adder's got. I sort of took the highlighting an extra stage further.
Yeah. I'm not keen on that Adder. Not from your paint job. I just don't like it.
I bought
an Adder.
Yes, you've got that really nice one that's around his staff, haven't you?
Yeah, I got because I wanted Badger to be a magician. I thought I better get the other one as a magician. So I got the Adder as a magician.
I really wanted to get that one as well. But this Adder was again one of those ones that I first saw it and I was like, it's a bit crap. But then it really grew on me. I kind of really liked it. That's exactly how a snake should be, you know, coiled up and ready. And I kind of liked him sort of, if you had to armor a snake, how the hell do you do that? And that's how.
I don't know what I've done with my models. I'm getting a bit worried about them. I'm sure they will be there. Well, anyway, never mind.
They can't have gone that far. They must be there.
Well, I'm pretty good at losing things.
Marvel, sense of decency, you know.
Yeah. What's the function of the wash? The function of the wash is it's like a watery inky type thing. Oh, it's not ink. It's like a very watered down paint. And what it does is you paint your guy.
Hello, Brad. I don't know who you are either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking to Brad now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, hello, Brad. I don't know who you are. That's nice to see someone new.
That's quite rude, isn't it? Saying you don't know who people are.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's another name that I don't recognise. It's nice to see new faces and stuff.
Yeah, well, I think you're being very rude. I apologise for Luke's behaviour, Brad. Not that I know who you are, but still.
Oh, you're a genuine legend.
No, so the purpose of a wash is it's a very watery paint, basically. Or ink, you might call it, but ink is a lot stronger than the wash is.
Yeah. They're often all sort of called inks or washes, and that technically is not technically correct, but they often get hard with the same brush sort of thing.
So what you would do is you would paint a model like I'm doing now. I'm doing the base coat, so you'd paint the model in kind of blocks of paint. So I've done the shoes black, the body blue, this bit grey, and when I finish doing this, it will look very flat because the dips and the shadows and things like that aren't deep enough to actually for natural light to fall where it would do if this model was a full size model, basically. So you need to kind of accentuate the shadows on the model and also accentuate the lighter bits as well. And the easiest way of doing it is by this wash. So basically, you would just slap this I'll show you. Hang on. So this is a drone I've done, and so what I'll do is I'll just get some black wash. Now, normally, if you're going to buy only one wash, then buy brown, because brown works for virtually everything. But if I use brown on this one, it would make it look just slightly dirty.
I would say brown and a black, but yeah.
Would you do brown and a black?
I would say I would have both. Yeah, but you've seen.
Yeah. Brown. Yeah, you use black a lot more than I would do normally. But anyway, brown's probably your best one for like people, and then so you just get it, and then you literally just go blah 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 blah, and it kind of picks out all the details and kind of puts a little black line round it all,
shades it, pulls into the recesses, but then as it dries, it shrinks back a bit, so you don't end up most of the time with those pulls, as it were. You could take some of the worst of it back off with a brush and stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I kind of splattered it all over, and then I'm kind of looking at it and just taking the worst of it off. Yeah. But when you're first starting, you'll be so amazed with how much better it looks.
Even then, if you look at that, like that bottom left, like sticky outy, spiky thing, it gave even that flat little bit of metal, a bit of edge and depth. Almost.
So look, there's them compared. You can see there's a significant. This one is so much more detailed than that one, and all I've done is splat a load of wash on it, and that will work. So that will work for all these guys. So these guys all had a wash on them as well, and you can see where. I mean, you can. And then what you can do is go back over it and then and do all sorts of highlights and stuff like that. But that's more advanced, and you don't need to do that. This one I just did all the base colors and then I just splattered wash all over it, and you can see the difference between that guy and that guy. That one's just flat; you can't really see any distinction, and that one's got wash on it. It's your first step in
between that and dry brushing. Washing dry brushes are the first step into giving a miniature form and shape rather than just flat color.
And I often say that people say, "Oh, I'm not talented at stuff," and really, it's technique, it's not talent, and it's knowing where to what thing to use to get the right effect, and the way you learn it is by just watching videos, basically. I mean, back when we were kids, it was the occasional article in White Dwarf, and that was all you got, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's how I think that is how I probably learned it all.
Yeah, but
taught me that I know of.
Yeah, exactly. So, but now, I mean, I only really started painting about 5 years ago again, and then, as I say, that the quality of paints and stuff like that just gave me a kind of quantum leap forward. And then my second one was learning that you need to thin your paints, and not believing that's just an exaggeration. If that makes any sense.
No, I did exactly as well. I think it's fine straight out of the pot. I don't really get. But then
I think it is fine straight out of the pot for a while. I mean, you got to start.
Yeah, it is absolutely fine out of the pot.
It's just
taking it to that next level. And
you can get so far with that, can't you? Yeah.
There's taking it, to thinning it, and then there's taking it way past where even I am. I mean, I'm not saying I'm any golden, demon paint or anything, but then there's people who do like thin it to the point where they'll do 5, maybe 6 layers.
Yeah.
Beautiful wet blending and graduation and color and textures and everything, and it's unbelievable work.
But I think you need to. The other side of that is you've got to work out where you want to stop, don't you? Because we could all do that. I could do that on this miniature, but there's a law of diminishing returns, really.
Exactly. And I definitely got to that point where I was like, I was wanting to always get better, and I kept on thinking, I want to get to this stage where I'm doing that. I'm doing these like 5, 6, 7 layers. But then I started to realize how long it takes to do a mini that you do that with.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, and also you are then getting to the point where talent does actually come into play.
Yeah. It's not
just anybody can learn to paint like a golden demon painter. They have talent
and a lot of time.
And yes, a lot of time. They're the people that are doing, like, on a Space Marine armor, they're doing, or on like side of a tank, they're freehanding frescoes and stuff like that. They're taking it to a very different level. But the sort of level me and Dan do is just nice tabletop.
I think tabletop plus level is what I aspire to. So
that's exactly all I want now is tabletop. Like, and most of the time I'm happy with tabletop. Tabletop plus is my boroughs and badges, and I would say maybe they're a smidge past tabletop plus, but I very, very much smidge. So I'm being a little more highlighting than I probably would for tabletop plus.
And when people say tabletop, what they mean is that the majority of the time you are looking at your miniatures from
4 feet away.
4 feet away, and if they look great from there, then that's absolutely fine. And what you don't notice from there is like little bloobs, little blodgers where you've gone over the line slightly, and all that kind of stuff.
Or like eyes, you don't see that you haven't done eyeballs.
Yeah, I can never ask for
and stuff. Well, my little Shrew Zerker, he was one of the first times I had done a pupil in a long bloody time.
Yeah, but they need
that vague one,
I think they need them because I think they're a different type of model. They're not a human model. The eyes are bigger for a start,
and there's character as well. Their heads are bigger. The scale is sort of I don't know how to describe it, but you obviously understand what.
Yeah. It's not realistic, is it? It's like they said, basically.
Yeah. Like they used to say, used to hear the term heroic scale that Games Workshop stuff used to be, where everybody's chunky and buff and sort of shorter than they should be, but their arms are massive. And these are not heroic scale; they're cartoon scale is probably the best way, as you say. Yeah.
That's too much paint.
Right. Just so I'm doing a wash now. So
okay. So Luke's doing another wash.
Yeah. So I did this little rope set here he's got a rope set on his waist. So I just did a very, very simple, just like a sandy kind of brown. So I've now got this, which is, if you can see it, very, very thin, very liquid sepia. This is the Citadel sepia shade. So look, I'm just literally going to slap it on. And I've also done it over his tunic bit because I wanted that as a brown wash as well. So that's fine. So I can just go for it. And then, as you can see, well, hopefully you can see, it's sort of filling in all those little cracks. So it's giving all that rope definition, all the little knots and twists and like the twine of it sort of thing. And then as I slowly sort of move the brush around, you can see there, I don't know how well you can see. Hopefully you can see all right. You can see that it's sort of pooling and puddling quite a bit. So as I just run the brush back over, now that I've taken a lot of the wash off and move the wash around, it just takes that excess away. Bloody hell, Dan. We're actually in the realms of being helpful.
I know. People have suggested that we whatever do painting tutorials. But the thing is, I think by doing that, I think I would take the joy of painting away from myself. Do you know what I mean? Would you? Well, you should do it then. But there's a gap for.
The trouble is, I don't think I'm good enough to do painting tutorials. I'm not a very good painter.
I don't know. I think there's a gap for, not a gap, because there are people who do it. But like Rob Oren, I mean, he's a good painter, but he's not a great painter. But what he is,
I really like Rob, but actually, I don't think he's a very good painter.
No, he's very old.
I watched him do a fleet trooper from Star Wars. No, it might have been Imperial Assault, whatever. And I was watching him paint, and I was like, it was the first time I'd watched him paint. And everybody was going on about how good a painter he was, or they, when they were chatting to him or whatever on Dice Tale stuff or whatever. And I thought, I'll watch some of this because it's probably quite good. And I used to quite like watching painting videos. I was a bit like, oh, it's not actually very good at all. His end product is nice, but it's tabletop standard at best.
But that's the thing that board gamers want. We are used to watching war gamers do painting tutorials, but there's no point someone just starting out watching one of those tutorials.
Just to go back to it as well, look, I did like Pinky, so right around his fleshy exposed bits of on his face, I did just like pinky bits, and I just did it very simply because now I'm giving a wash over all that section, and straight away you'll see look how much definition it gives around his nose and muzzle and you know, all those little details that just get completely lost, just suddenly pop out.
Yeah.
So that is wash tutorial Dan 101 by Dan and Luke.
Indeed. And the next step to do then would be to, well, depending on how many steps you wanted to do, if you wanted to really, really go to town, your next step would be to go back over the model in probably the same colour that you've just washed over, and just relighten up the higher parts of
Which I will do.
Which the parts which the light would hit to take away that kind of slightly, because the problem with doing a wash, especially over a flat surface, is it makes it kind of slightly mottled or muddy or whatever. So you go back over the bits, but then you wouldn't paint into the cracks. You'd leave the cracks darker. So that's what you do, and then the next stage would be to do some highlights. Now, generally, I don't. You dry brush a lot more than I do, don't you? But,
I used to. I don't much now. No.
No, I very rarely
dry brushing I just did on my Sparrow was one of the first sort of dry brushing I've probably done for quite a while. But it's
yeah. So dry brush is basically you get most of the paint off you. I mean, there's loads of tutorials on dry brushing online, so we won't need to take. I'm not planning on doing any dry brushing today. But
you go back to me finishing the Sparrow's feathers, you'll see me do a little bit of dry brushing.
Yeah. So you get most of the paint off your brush, so you can hardly even see any paint on it, basically.
Yeah.
And then you would kind of lightly brush it over your model, and what happens there is the remaining bits of paint that are on your brush kind of just catch the raised areas, and then they'll highlight them. So obviously you do that in a lighter color than
it's like you're dusting it almost.
You're dusting it, and it can make it look a bit dusty actually.
If
you're not careful.
Well, if you do the wrong color, people tend to like dry brush on, like they'll take basically whatever color they were using and add some white to it or something like that.
Yeah,
that's terrible color theory. Going back to what I was saying earlier, if you want to lighten a paint, you know, if I wanted to go from blue to a lighter blue,
you put black in it, don't you?
It's not necessarily the best example. No, you would use like in a blue to lighten it. I would probably use like a grey or something like that, or even depending where you do it depends.
Beigey type color maybe.
Even like a yellow. You could lift it, but then it would start to give it a slightly greener edge. But that might be what you're after. You know, it depends. But the last thing you would almost ever do is just add white or black to darken something. You know,
because that will make it look chalky if you put just white. But that's the beauty of having a range of paints. Is like, for example, exactly what I'm doing now. I'm doing skin. Now that's a very dark skin color. That's because that's not what it's going to stay. Because I'm going to go back over it with
racist, and he doesn't want it to be
with this. Well, to be honest, there's no clear. There's a very clear range for skin tones for Caucasian skin tones within Citadel. I'm not saying you can't do an African American or an African, or Afro Caribbean or whatever skin tone, but it's certainly not as easy. I don't think you haven't got the same kind of these are the three paints I use type stuff. I suppose because dark can be a number of different colors,
shades of brown.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I did a load of Catachan Jungle Fighters, which were an Imperial Guard unit for Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
And, I kind of wanted I went with that kind of Predator vibe, you know, that they were like those kind of guys. So I made sure 2 or 3 of them were black, like the guy who was always shaving, you know.
Yeah.
Predator and Apollo Creed fella, can't remember his name. Because I was just like, that was one of the first times I was painting some minis, and I suddenly thought, why are they never black?
Yeah.
You know, and none of them had, none of them were certainly discernibly black. They didn't have like a black guy's features or anything like that. But it you know, worked fine. It didn't look sort of weird.
No, I did my Kill Team. Do you play Kill Team, Luke?
No, yeah, I've got the rule book for it and stuff.
It's really good. It's really good.
I've got so much 40k stuff that I thought, well, I best get the rule book because I'm never going to play 40k again. But I quite happily play Kill Team.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring my Kill Team stuff down when we play Boroughs and Badgers, and then we can have a
Cool. Yeah.
but I've got a Salamanders Kill Team. My Space Marines are Salamanders.
Oh, they're black guys, aren't they?
They're black guys. Yeah. I mean, they I think they're meant to be pitch black, as in they're meant to have volcanic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're meant to have volcanic.
I don't think I've ever seen it take to that level.
No, well, I didn't like that, so I did them as a Afro-Caribbean black.
That's cool.
Well, most of them got helmets on, to be fair, but the ones that haven't got helmets on, I did Afro-Caribbean.
The only model I could think of that I've ever had, certainly that I've gone to paint, was I think it was from a company called, I want to say it was from Heresy, but no, it wasn't. It was from Hassle Free.
Great,
really cool company.
The
other company was
really cool games. I got most of my Frostgrave miniatures from Hassle Free.
Again, very unique style, very slightly cartoony style, which is why
they're a bit dodgy with their gender stereotypes, to be fair.
But that's miniatures companies.
Yeah.
The board. But anyway, go back to what I said. That I bought. He was like a Conan kind of barbarian, really cool pose, and he came with a variant head. And instead of me going with the one it was kind of boxed as and pictured as, I went with this variant head because it was a black guy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a nice change. And I did that, and I find actually painting a black guy's flesh tone is actually I like painting in sort of browns and chocolatey browns and darker browns kind of thing. And I've never been a particularly fan of painting Caucasian flesh because I generally just do beige and give it a wash and then highlight it a little bit.
This Bugman's Glow is perfect. Bugman's Glow, Raglan's Flesh Shade, and then whatever this is, Kislev Flesh.
Yeah, but I suppose that's pretty much what I've always done is roughly that. Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't use Citadel paint, but the Citadel.
I've got a few, but
the Citadel app is fantastic. Have you got that?
No, I haven't actually. No,
that's really good. It's free. Obviously, it uses their paint, but you could probably translate it.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, there's probably an app for putting in one paint and telling you what it is in the other ranges. If there isn't, there should be.
I really, really recommend downloading. I'm just seeing people just been texting.
Oh, sorry, people have been talking.
No. Just
nobody's talking.
Mr. Delicio texting me.
No, why is he not coming on? He usually comes.
He's in a games day.
What bollocks to him.
Yeah, screw him. I'm looking for my Citadel paint app. So there we go. Can you see that? Citadel. Oh, it's backwards.
Yeah, I can see that very well. Yeah.
Okay, so this is new.
Well, it's probably got contrast on it quite a lot now.
Yeah, that is exactly why he's probably updated. So paint by color. So you've got all those different colors. Choose red. What kind of red do you want?
Oh, I see. That's quite cool.
Blood red, and that's how it will look. And that's what you base coat in. That's what you shade in. That's your layer, second layer. It's really good. It's really good. And then that helps you do, like it will say flesh, for example, bone, flesh. So dark flesh, rotting flesh, tan flesh, pale.
I think I do remember hearing about that app coming out and then just.
It really is good. And the other side to it is obviously that it gives you an inventory, but that's useful as well because I often go to the shop and think, oh, I need a dark blue, and then I come back and thought, oh, bollocks, I've already bought that dark blue. So as soon as I get something, so that's all the paint that I own, and then that's the paint that I need to get next time I go.
It's handy. That I think is very handy.
It is. I mean, it only works with Citadel, obviously, and I mean, but it's a really nice app.
Like I said, if there isn't an app that you put in one of the paints from a range,
and then it tells you what
the equivalent is in all the other main ranges, there absolutely should be that app.
Have you ever used Army Painter?
No, the only one I've used No, to be honest, I was about to say that I've used quite a few of the others, but I probably haven't actually. No, I haven't. I used to use their sprays.
Yeah.
But then I stopped using their sprays just because I think I just more because I stopped painting.
Yeah.
And then also then started to hear loads of horror stories about their sprays. People having dodgy ones.
Oh, I remember you saying, I think last time we were
like frosty or bitty and grainy or something like that.
Yeah.
Generally, I put it down to probably the actual person's fault doing it in the wrong conditions and stuff.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
I mean, I know theoretically you can use any kind of white primer spray from Halfords or whatever.
Yeah,
I really like the Citadel spray, even though it cost me a fortune.
Well, hobby painters are a tenner for a can, so actually it's probably more.
Oh right, okay.
I think Citadel ones are £9 a can, aren't they?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is why I need a bloody, buy 10 of those, and you bought your airbrush, haven't you?
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah,
which I certainly have, but because I tend to.
Can you see the highlighting on that? Is that?
Not really. Not that looks different. Keep on talking. Sorry.
Yeah, I tried to take him a little bit further. There's probably one more by the eye. It's not too bad. I'll post some pictures of him later.
Yes, post some pictures of him later so that everyone can ignore them.
Yeah, I think that's probably what most people have been doing.
Yeah, well, it's fine. As I say, it's only just a chance to catch up, and we never claimed it would be entertaining.
I think we've been mildly entertaining earlier, but then Matthew buggered off. So
Well, we're worried about that because he's our next guest on the podcast because we haven't talked to him for a while.
I was saying that to him at the expo. I said you need to go back on. You haven't been on for a while. I said I've been on twice since you were last on.
Yeah, but
that's definitely wrong,
But then we've used all our topics of conversation with him. So what can you do?
Well, but see, I disagree because I think one of the nicest things generally when I've heard Matthew on podcasts is just talking to him, just having a chat. He's very knowledgeable and quite a well-wise fella.
He's a bloody idiot, is what he is.
Oh, we're all bloody idiots of varying degrees.
It's very true.
But he's a more amenable and pleasing.
Not than me. I'm much more amenable than him.
No, you're not. I know you take it as like jibing, but I'm deadly serious with most of the insults I throw your way.
That's completely reasonable.
Yeah.
I deserve everything I get. Oh
no, yeah, I would happily listen to a podcast with you, Mike, and Matt, just having a chat about board gaming, about this, that, or whatever. Having
that's what we do.
Having an overall, maybe something to start you off. I don't think that.
I sometimes wonder what's going to happen to Sporadically Board when we run out of interesting topics to talk about. I think we'll probably just change format rather than quit.
Yeah, but
I don't know if there's that many.
I would say you go off so far off track sometimes.
Well, we haven't been recently. We've been quite on track recently. I've actually started thinking that we need to try and maybe I need to get drunker in the podcasts. I can't at the moment because I'm on antibiotics.
I like those people you had on last time. What was their name again?
Yeah, they showed up in the chat just earlier. I doubt they're still here. Board Game Barrage.
Was that one of the barrages? Was it?
Yeah, Board Game Barrages. They're very good. They've got a very good podcast actually. It talks very intelligently about. They were recently touted by Shut Up and Sit Down as being.
Yes, you said that. I think on the
actual which gave them a massive boost because, as I say, Shut Up and Sit Down have a lot of sway.
I don't think until you really said that before to me, I don't think I ever truly realised how much they did have.
No, they've got massive sway.
Yeah, then I sort of looked into it a bit more, and you're not wrong.
No, and I think interestingly, a lot of their sway is with people who don't consume any other form of board game media as well. The only people they see
fans. They're in an echo chamber. Yeah.
And as I say, I think they've got a lot of integrity. I'm certainly not criticising their integrity. I'm a bit disappointed they went after my friend Brady today in their newsletter. Not in a personal attack way, but against his game he's trying to kickstart, which is frustrating for them because obviously they've got a lot of sway.
Hmm.
But then again, I wouldn't want them to censor themselves, and I wouldn't want them to never say anything negative about anything because
can't have your cake and eat it, as it were, sort of thing.
yeah. So I can't. I just think it's a shame because I don't agree with what they said either. But whatever. You're all right, sweetheart. Of course you can. There's.
I don't listen to them anymore. I watched the Batman one because it just kept bloody coming up on my YouTube. I haven't even watched Efka's one yet.
Which is basically exactly the same.
For that was what I gathered, that I only needed to watch one of them. It was more a case I wanted to get the gist of what they were saying about this Conan thing that everybody kept going on about, and I just
as I say, I don't think any of the things they said were particularly unfair. I think it must have been absolutely disheartening for the company because that could have been the making of their next Kickstarter, couldn't it? If they had because they loved Conan, which is basically the same game. So if they had said, "Oh, this is fantastic, go and get it," the Kickstarter.
I agree with what they're saying about the differences between it, though, and I hadn't really thought about it, but I agree that Conan is more of a let's go out and have a fight, which sort of you kind of want to do in Batman, but you shouldn't and can't.
Yeah, as I say, I agree probably with them. It's by no means a perfect game, and if I wasn't enjoying painting them so much, I might even feel faintly disappointed with it.
You're getting more than the game out of it, aren't you?
I'm getting more than the game out of it, which is ironic because my reviews on their Kickstarter say how wonderful it is. So, but as time has gone on, which is another reason why I don't want to do any more. In fact, I've just sold my camera microphone, so that's it for me.
Have you? You said it right.
Yeah, I've just put it on eBay.
And or it's on eBay ready to.
It's on eBay right now, so if anyone wants to buy it off me, they're more than welcome. It's going for a good price. It's going to pay for that Arcadia Quest that I bought, which is nice.
What sort of microphone is it?
It's a shotgun microphone, so you stick it on top of your camera, and it records the thing in front of the camera. It's one that's very popular amongst YouTubers, which is why I think it's going for a reasonable.
Did you say you're selling the camera as well?
No, I don't think so.
No,
because I use it for other stuff. That won't get as much money as I paid for it.
Right.
And I'm never say never. It'd be quite easy to replace that microphone with something smaller, or even use the microphone I'm using to record now in order to record, all that kind of stuff. Whereas if I sold the camera, I'd have to buy an equivalent camera, which would cost me a fortune. So it's worth not selling the camera. Because you never know, do you? You never know. I used to be really into photography anyway. I could start all that.
I was thinking the other day, a lot of people have been saying to me for a long time, when are you going to do something for the Dice Tower? When are you going to be on Bill Get Breakfast? I got it a lot this UK Games Expo. I think because I started appearing on this and made my first podcast appearances, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I've become a little bit more known in some way. I think in some ways, yes, you have. I actually got recognized a few times.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unusual. I would have thought we'd have an audience that would recognize anybody, a big enough audience to have that kind of influence.
I didn't expect it, and I could only the thing, I don't know that it came from that, but I can't really put it down to much else. It's not like I wouldn't say I particularly.
You were on maybe they recognized you from the store opening video or something like that.
Well, yeah, there was a little bit of that as well. Yes, definitely. So yes, I had a few people come up saying, "Oh, and are you going to do something?" Blah blah blah. And I was thinking the other day, what could I do that was Butler themed? And I just couldn't quite come up with anything. I was trying to think.
Game Butler, of course you can. You get a silver tray, you get yourself in a suit,
Well, yeah,
and each week, you get somebody to say something like, I've got some friends coming over who really like stained glass windows. You'd have to do it better than this. And then looming from the background will be, may I suggest, sir, Sagrada? And then you do a little bit on Sagrada. There you go. There's a thing for you.
Done.
Yeah.
I shall email Tom in the morning.
You take it as well because he takes any old crap. Oh, come on. Yes. I'm going to get these bloody done by tomorrow, I reckon. All these policemen.
I'm very tempted to say that I've actually done 2 minis tonight.
Yeah, it's not bad, you see. Have you got someone lined up to play that with apart from me?
No. No, I mean lots of my game group are war gamers and stuff. So
easy someone.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can find that. I can't remember what podcast it was. It was when I heard the guy talking, but he was quite interesting about it. The podcast wasn't wonderful.
What about matches he was talking about?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't that bad a podcast. I think it was called Meeple and something. But it was mainly focused on war games.
Any idea? Anyone? Nobody's talking on the chat.
No.
Anybody? Anybody idea what a colour eyes a stoat has?
Black.
Again, really?
I mean, black or brown.
Oh, I imagine brown with a black sort of pupil.
I'd do them all brown with a black pupil. That's most animals.
I might even revert to the fine point pen for that pupil.
Oh, I've never tried that.
I'm just trying to see where the hell they are.
I was watching somebody do eyes the other day, and I thought if I ever do eyes again, I'm going to try that technique. But they basically did them first
with these.
Yeah, no, not with those.
No, I'm just saying what I.
No one's interested in what you're doing.
So very
interested in my eye technique.
Yeah, go on. What was the one you saw?
Well, they did the eye. They just put black in the eye socket, and then they did 2 white dots either side.
Either side, yeah. That's the way the Games Workshop used to tell you to do it.
And then they painted around the eye with flesh to cover up the overlapping white dots and stuff. And it actually looked all right. Better than it didn't have that wild. But I think eyes are such a skill that you take so much practice. I really can't be bothered with them.
I've just absolutely nailed it with the black point pen.
Have you?
Yeah, perfect. If I do say so myself, and I don't like.
So look, go
on. See, you were not going to be able to see where the hell's his head, right?
No, I can't see that, especially since I'm just talking. So it's no.
I should show a picture of it. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing I was thought about doing because I don't. Oh, I talked to you about this as well, didn't I? Uncle Atom. And
yeah, I like him.
And he's a YouTuber, and I'm just explaining for our massive
4 other people
watching at the moment. He's an American YouTuber who talks about war games a lot. More minis, actually, painting minis, isn't he? That's what he's
used to be a contributor, apparently, but I don't ever remember him being on it.
No, I think he used to do the. I've been really tempted to go to the Adapticon stuff. I've been really tempted to go back and watch some really old weekenders because in the past I've gone back and listened to some Dice Towers, that 4, 5, 6 years old, and it's fascinating to hear what they're talking about because often they're talking about stuff that is considered a classic now, and like their first takes on. It wasn't this, but like first take on King of Tokyo, or you know what I mean, things that have gone on to become classics. I don't think if you listen to the ones I've got going now, in 5 years' time, you get that same thing because I don't think they've got as much longevity. There's too many come out.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
To stick, but it was really interesting. I'm making an error with all these things.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm painting these guys' hands, but they've obviously got a little trunch. The truncheon's been held on a rope, and I'm just painting hand colour all over the rope. So I'm going to have to go back over and paint these ropes in if I can be asked.
I really can't believe I'm going to have 2 of these based and done. I'm literally stoked.
Well, once you've done that, we can call it a night. Probably, I think we might be sensible. What are we on? We're on 11:30. My daughter's just gone to bed, which is probably not an appropriate time for a 15-year-old to go to bed. But never mind.
Who's judging? Other than
well, she always gets up in the morning, but even so, I should.
Some people are night owls, as simple as that. I'm literally a 4 or 5 hours sleep. That's me.
No, she's a good girl. Can't complain. If she was causing us problems, I could complain, but she isn't. She's a good girl.
How would you say she's 15?
15, coming on 16 soonish. Probably about 4 months, 16.
So how often have you had to deal with a boyfriend thing?
Never.
Never?
Not sure she'd appreciate me talking about it, to be honest.
That's true. Fair. I'm only talking because I know I'm going to have to deal with it, and I'm just wondering the best ways to...
I don't know how well I will deal with it, because I'm not the most social of people. So I won't enjoy being nice to people.
It's the judging front I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm going to hate them with a passion.
I think it'll probably be all right. I think it's a bit of a cliche, and I think the people who do that might have control issues and not trust their kids as much. I mean, it depends on what the person is. I mean, if they're people you really don't approve of, then I imagine it's very difficult very quickly.
Yeah.
But I've got good faith in my daughter. She's got remarkably good taste. I'm not quite sure how that happened.
Well, it's just everybody's known that person, haven't they? That friend, or they've known that girl or that guy or whatever, who you think, why are you with your other half? You're a horrible person, or it just doesn't work, or whatever, for whatever reason. You just don't want your son or your daughter to be one of those people, do you?
No, there is that is also true. There was a guy I'm thinking of whose wife was very nice and also very attractive, and he was a bit of an ass and also an ugly spud. And you're like, why is she with him? Type thing. And then he cheated on her. It's like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? What are you complete? What? Do you not realise how far out of your league your wife is? I mean, I'm not talking physically, although that was the case as well, but I'm talking about like just as a human being. And then you're wrecking it by... It's just beyond me sometimes. I've never really got that whole cheating thing anyway.
No, sorry. No, neither have I. No.
Because no one would have me anyway, so that's fine.
Well, yeah, I consider myself, I quietly thank myself every day that,
Exactly, that you don't have to...
Sarah made some foolish decision to spend the rest of her life with me.
Exactly, and she's got too much integrity to go back on it. Well, actually, that's
too much. And I see her toying with it all the time.
Every day.
Just trying to figure out how to say it.
Yeah. That's why every morning you go, bye!
Yeah. She made it very clear, when we were sort of first, getting together and stuff. She was like, if you ever cheat on me, that's it. It's done. There's no taking you back. No.
Yeah, well, quite right as well.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree. And there was me sort of just going, yeah, all right. Yeah, because lightning doesn't strike twice.
You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I may be a fool, but I'm not an idiot.
That's it. Well, I have done nearly all the base coats. I'm really crappy policey.
Very pleased.
You're pleased with yours look great. I'm scared to paint mine in case you outshine them as well.
You know they're not going to look as good. That's fine. We can accept that. Just deal with it. Accept it. Move on.
I really like your bases. I'm going to try and do cork.
That is bits of cork.
Is it?
Yeah. Little cork nuggets.
Is it from cork tiles, or did you?
No, just I've had it for literally years. I bought a tub of them, and you only use one or two at a time. I've probably had
so like wine corks, are they?
Let me hang on.
I'll put it onto these big guy's shoes.
There you go.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, I don't think they came in this tub. I think I put them in this. They were in a bag. I think it was probably from a railway thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, my bloody box of basing and terrain stuff is next to me here, and it's all full of all sorts of different shades of flock and.
Yeah, I haven't really got that because I've not really done terrain. Although I love terrain, I've never really done it. So I've had to buy everything from, which is why I've spent a fortune, and then doesn't feel like I've got anything.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, I really like terrain. I like making terrain. I haven't made that much, but what I have made, I've enjoyed making.
Yeah, I did
even the laser cut stuff I was talking about, my Western stuff.
Yeah,
I haven't made it, but I made it to what it is now, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I did I did a city for my Marvel superheroes game.
Oh yeah,
and I was really impressed, really pleased with myself for that. I even had like LEDs lighting things up and stuff like that.
Something I will do one day. Put lighting into one.
Yeah, that was awesome. But I've ended up selling that to my friend. So basically, the one guy I used to play Marvel superheroes game.
Oh, you sold it all, did you, Neil?
I only the train, not the not the game, because I only ever play with him anyway, and he wanted it for his zombie game, and I thought, well, I'll sell you this, and if I want to play this game again, I'm going to be playing with you anyway. So
fair enough.
But I tend to sell things quite readily, and sometimes regret them.
Really move stuff on,
I do. I'm a man of fickle pleasures. Right, let me paint this shoe, and then we'll say goodbye. That's right with you, Luke.
Yeah, no, that's fine by me. Yeah.
And you're just basking in the glory of your
having a little vape and just enjoying my little fellas coming up on the YouTube screen every now and then. We're very proud of them.
Well, you once you get your terrain, you should do some. I mean, that's the one thing I've been thinking about doing. That's what I was saying about Uncle Atom. He's starting an Instagram account with the stuff I'm painting, just to keep a record of it, really, and the paints are used.
Right. Yeah.
But I'd like to get.
Did he talk about that? Did he in one of his things?
Yeah, because he says because it's happened to me in the past as well. He says you paint something really cool and you think, oh, I really like the way I did that black. And then you've forgotten how you've done it. If it's like a year ago or even 6 months ago, you forget how it worked. And so what he does, you don't think that's ever happened to you?
No, I don't. Not that I can think of. No, I mean, I don't have like some real broad range of techniques. And like I said, I'm a real big stickler for the whole color theory thing, which I've now banged on about 3 times now.
Yeah, I need to look at some color theory videos because yeah,
it really can take you to that next understanding of paint and color. That looks bloody good.
What?
That fella you've got in your hand there,
chap here.
He looks really good, man.
Yeah. But the reason I got him out, I like his help.
Yeah, well, that was what caught my eye, and then I sort of looked at the rest of him. I was like, oh, actually, you've done a cracking job on him.
Yeah. They're good. These the SWAT guys. The reason I got him out is because I painted 4 of them, and I needed to paint the other 4. The one because some of them got guns and some got briefcases. And I'd forgotten what blue I'd used on it, so I had to use like 3 different blues and then ink it to find out which one matched the blue I used. Whereas if I'd written down what I used on each one, it wouldn't have done it. I don't know. I just think it was a bit of fun, and there's also a bit of vanity, get people looking at me models. Yeah. Oh, so
how do we know who's still watching? Because we've had 6 people or 4 other people consistently for ages now.
I don't think anyone's watching. I think there might be it might just be hung over, or someone might have some people in the background. I don't know. We'll say goodbye to them even if they are watching. So thank you very much. And people might watch afterwards as well. So that's the other thing. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, I apologise if it wasn't entertaining, but we did say very clearly, didn't we, Luke? It's just a chance to hang out and piss about rather than
just out of curiosity, because now Dan's got me thinking about it. Does anybody want tutorials on painting?
Well, they clearly do, because they've been asking me for them, and you're better than me, I would argue. There you go, Samuel Wood. So I think you should do it, man. And I think you should do it for the Dice Tower as well. There's no one doing painting on the Dice Tower now.
No, not anymore because Rob's gone, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't do that much, I don't think, did he?
No. I mean, he did a fair bit, but not on the Dice Tower.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I think some just introduction to painting would be fantastic, and just to a tabletop quality, because people don't need more than that.
Well, that's all I want to do anymore.
Exactly, and so you don't need to be
take it to and feel very good about it.
Yeah.
If I try to take it further, I end up thinking, it's not as good as I wanted it to be. And
yeah, exactly. Whereas, but you can paint to a very good tabletop standards. You've got loads of minis games. You can just be demonstrating just techniques and stuff like that, and just you should just do it.
Maybe I will
make a list and make sure you enjoy doing it. That's the only thing. But I reckon you could if you're doing it for board game breakfast, for example, you're only going to do it 2 minutes at a time. So you can. The good thing about that thing is you can do about 4 or 5 in one go. Film 4 or 5 in one go. Set up a nice camera. Do talkovers. You can speed things up, all that kind of stuff. 4 or 5 in one go. Edit it all, and then you've got 6 weeks of content to do. And you don't even have to give them one a week. You can give one every 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe I will then.
I think you should.
I bloody said when I first went on your podcast that this might be the thing that kicked my ass into gear.
Exactly, into doing some content creation.
And now done 3 YouTube things, and the empire is building.
The empire is building. That's it. Well, there's all sorts of.
Who the bloody hell? Shut up and sit down.
Exactly. Who needs them? Who needs them?
They'll be talking on their podcast one day about the sway that Luke and Dan have.
Exactly.
Not you, Dan. The different Dan that I know.
No, fair enough. I mean, part of me thinks I'd like to do it, and then it's like, no, I don't want to. So that's fine. You do it.
Well, as in painting stuff.
Yeah, well, just all sorts of stuff. I keep getting ideas to do stuff. That's what I do. I get ideas to do stuff, and sometimes I start them, sometimes I don't.
I have the want to do it, but not necessarily the ideas that I think, oh yeah, that'd be good. I think of something, and then I think, oh, that'd be good fun to do. Then I think, oh no, hang on, there's that guy that does it, and there's that guy.
Oh, you should never think that, because there's always someone who does it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
but there isn't anyone on the Dice Tower that's doing it, and there's not anyone who's well known for doing it in the board game sphere other than Rob Orin. So, and there's always people asking. And the most value is going where the audience is. I mean, the advantage that Tom gives everybody, and the deal you make when you go in, although it's not explicit deal, is you're swapping your time for his channel for his audience. Really, that's his payment.
It's a very fair deal.
I would say so.
People have come off very well from it.
Exactly. Yeah. So
as they should. They've used it for their benefit.
Yeah. Well, they've used it mutual benefit. Haven't they?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, mutual benefit. Yeah, mutual benefit.
People like Chaz, people like
Game Boy Geek,
all that kind of stuff. Use it as a springboard. Rob, to a certain extent. Rob.
Yeah, he now works for Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
In sort of weird roundabout ways, like even Rodney Smith. Rodney Smith technically isn't a Dice Tower guy, but look how much the Secret Cabal have talked about Rodney Smith.
Yeah.
And there must be people that learnt about Rodney Smith as well from stuff like that. So there's so much connections there that even people outside the Dice Tower probably benefit from the Dice Tower.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't count the Secret Cabal as within the Dice Tower, really. It's more a Dice Tower change.
But they certainly were.
Yes, I suppose so. Yeah. And myself and Mike as well, and the Murphs. Although me and Mike aren't making any financial type stuff out of it, certainly we wouldn't have got an audience without the Dice Tower. So it's all going on.
Had an audience behind you. Oh, but yes, which you got from the Dice Tower.
Yeah. So I'm digging out me cutting mat. I've got this.
Your cutting mat's barely a cutting mat anymore.
I know. Well, it's better than not being on the paint table. I wipe my brush on I wipe the paint off on. How do you wipe the paint off your brush? Do you just do it on a tissue or something?
That.
Yeah. I like having it, and then eventually you can peel it off in one big kind of.
I do like when I clean a paint palette out. I've got that's got some paint on it, and you get to Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you burn yourself at the beach. Oh, it's like, look at that.
PVA glue on your hands. Yeah.
Yeah, I could paint myself. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Actually,
Yeah. Paint your entire body with PVA.
Yeah, exactly. And just
Do
sit
that.
there all day, just
Basking.
peeling off. Today's good. Tomorrow's gonna be awesome.
Right. Okay. We're gonna go. So thank you very much for watching. I know you said goodbye a while ago, Sam, and
everybody, thank you very much for watching. Those who have, and thank you for everybody who watches it afterwards.
Yes.
Have enjoyed it. And if you would like to know anything more, even if I don't do any tutorials,
those models are ace, man. Like, I can just looking at them now. They're just really nice.
Yeah. What, as in the models themselves, or what?
Yeah. Well, no, what you've done with them and the models themselves. They're lovely.
Come back to what I was saying. If anybody ever is unsure of anything or wants any questions, just post something on the Sporadically Bored Facebook group and tag me in it. I will happily answer if I know the answer, or we'll find a tutorial that I think explains it better than I could.
And new Painting with Luke will be out soon on the Dice Tower Network.
the painting butler.
Yeah, the painting butler. there must be something I'm going to think on.
Yeah, thank you. Please do, because I can't. I've got to put butler in there somewhere. I have to just
okay,
just to see if Luke ever gets it.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Is that stopped? No.